So apparently we're streaming.
Are we?
Hold on a second here.
So much going on in the world. God damn, that's a lot of titty. It's official. We're about to tear Florida up this time. Them niggas got us the COVID and we were calm, we were steady.
Yeah, so apparently we're streaming, so.
The wave is coming now, my nigga. I can't even front. I didn't really think about going to Miami like that.
Now we gotta go.
Now we're going to Miami and I'm like, oh shit, I'm really about to go out there and look Miami. Like, yo, my nigga, I need to get cleaned up real quick. Yeah, I gotta look pretty for these Miami chicks.
That's when you
Fake bodies and everything. Let's go.
That's when you gotta get the suit that I got.
Oh, hell yeah, the Scarface suit?
Yeah.
They got the whole time, like, Chris, play this on loop. It'd be the fucking Scarface interesting.
So, let me just see if we're actually live streaming.
If I drove through Miami, listening to the fucking Scarface shit, I'd be fucking weak.
We're live. Yeah. So, just to let everyone know.
We out here. We just talking shit.
Yeah, we're just talking crap. We're gonna do this. I don't know if this is gonna be a regular thing, but we're just trying it out.
Yeah.
Right now, we're gonna play Oddworld. Right. We would have streamed it like normal people do when they're playing games, but
Yeah.
you know, when you buy cheap shit, you get cheap results. So.
Yeah, it happens. Listen, we on the PS5, obviously. If you know Oddworld, the new version of the game, it came out on PS5 on the Plus. You get it for free. It's actually a really fun, amazing game. I wish we could stream to show you, because there's aspects of it that's gonna be awesome. I plan on restarting it from the beginning. As Nick being the Oddworld fan, I'm gonna give him the experience of starting the game over and learning how to play the game and everything, so he can see how it is, because I already experienced it. And it's gonna be a fun little time, like just laughing, because I know he's not ready for the aspects of what this controller does.
Okay.
That's good.
So I'm taking it. But in the meantime, just to let everyone know, we're going to be talking shit that we've seen. He hasn't seen The Bad Batch.
I haven't watched the newest
But
episode, no.
We'll talk about Loki.
Definitely
all
gotta
that
talk
stuff.
about a lot of Loki.
So,
We're gonna talk about Loki. We're gonna mix in the game. Just stuff. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about the game. We're gonna break down, whatever little random things that he might experience that he remembers from the original to the new one.
Yeah.
Little shits like that. So we're gonna be a little bit over the place, but not too bad that it won't make sense. And I'm gonna start it off with the fact that the Angels need to win because the nigga's trying to get 25.
Yeah, I can't even see all the goddamn buttons.
Nah, you might as well just listen to the whole shit, to be honest.
So this is a remake?
This is a new one.
Oh, it's a continuation.
Yeah.
The graphics are sick on this already, man.
Bro, that's the PS5 shit. My nigga, I was watching this shit and I was just like, oh, it's crisp. Like, the level of technology, crisp, like, to make shit this fucking clear is insane.
I'm listening.
Fucking. I don't really know the Oddworld lore because I never played the game. I was more of Croc, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Medieval.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the Oddworld, which is classics all around PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I don't really know the story. So when I started this, as you see that they're on the train and they're doing all of this, I'm guessing they're like underground troll people that are trying to survive. I don't know.
Nah, the whole storyline from what I remember is that these certain aliens, this whole alien thing,
Okay.
and these certain aliens are slaves. And they work for a company that sells meat, but they start to realize that they are the meats that they're selling.
Ah, okay.
So I think that's the beginning of the original Oddworld. Like
Yeah.
I think that what made the game great was that the main character, he was a dummy. Like he was a dummy.
And that's what he is in this.
guy.
Yeah, they explain him like that. Like they kind of touch on his lore.
Yeah.
And the thing like 8 is his name. And like right now they're showing 8, and he's sitting in the back just playing with like a game of toy.
Yeah.
So he's in there right now. They're getting attacked and they're on the train. But Apex being the protagonist, the hero, he's supposed to come and help them. So right now this is 12 hours earlier we're getting into before they get attacked. It's a lot to this shit, but I'm telling you right now, honestly. And I know Ratchet & Clank came out today. I just real quick throw out there. Ratchet & Clank's another great game that I want to play and do again. I have a couple of them on my PS4.
Yeah.
But it's another classic PlayStation game. But this right now, like, it's just it's like a prologue to the main story.
Oh, so it's not a continuation; it's a prologue.
Right now, it's a prologue. Yeah.
Okay, so it'll probably tell us how he became what he was in the beginning. Okay. See, my cousin, you know what they did with Crash Bandicoot? They kind of like revised it, like it's the same original game with
They
certain
just remastered it. Yeah.
So they did that with Oddworld. I think the first 2, and it looked better, and the stages were similar, but like once you get to the second original game, he gets like when he talks and he has these the guiding the slaves. That's when he could talk to multiple people. The original first one, he could only talk to one at a time.
Yeah.
So you would have to go in a stage, whatever. Hello, how are you doing? Follow me. And then you have to guide him to the thing, and then go back again in the same,
Nah, I feel you.
And then the second one came out with that, oh yeah, follow me. And they go, what?
Yeah.
Like I think the sound effects is fucking hilarious on this shit too.
Nah, it is. I just honestly, I watch these graphics and I'm just like in awe. Meanwhile, Abe and his followers have followed shelters since escaping whatever the fuck that was, refuge farm, something farm.
I'm watching us on the phone and I feel like it's skipping, and every time it skips, the light's different. It's kind of like
we here. You don't know what club I'm at.
Yeah.
All right, this is the story of Abe.
I hope we don't get kicked out.
Nah, they're not gonna catch this. They're not that smart.
Yeah, because if we were streaming it, they won't kick us out.
If I get the new Crash Bandicoot, my nigga, you don't think I'm streaming this shit all the way through? Can't wait to hit Florida.
The only memory of her that I have.
You cannot face what's ahead if you choose to hold on to those
You see them in the second one.
oppression.
That's a
You
that's
must
fucking
find
ass.
and embrace your full voice. You must do it.
He was brolic in this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta remember, there's a lot more graphics to it. Like,
oh, that's sickly.
But she was real. She gave me these, and no one else even remembers her. Or
You are no longer a slave, Abe. You have worn those your entire life. But you and the
Oh,
others
so this is
were under
after.
a
after,
spell,
yeah.
Okay.
living your lives inside of lies upon lies until finally.
If the games weren't like almost impossible to beat, I'd be like, yo, let's play the fucking games and try to beat.
Well, it's not impossible to beat. It's a lot of hours. We're not gonna beat this on like.
Oh hell no. But I'm talking about the original. Like,
The original, I would love to go through again. Like I said, like I have certain originals that I would, if I have to go original where it's like PlayStation thing, because I have the original PlayStation, so I could do the disc versions.
Yeah.
And play those with those ports and those errors, whatever it was in the game. Yeah, I could do that. I could do a remaster of Crash Bandicoot. But those take hours. Like we would have to start by 6 to 5. and we will probably wouldn't be done until 3 a.m. And that's because of losses and restarts. All of that. And that's just being honest. Like, nobody's running through not losing and restarting and redoing everything.
You may have escaped the murderous blades, but not the
I feel like the older games are harder now, since I haven't been playing them.
They're a little harder because you haven't been playing them. The newer games are just as hard. It depends on your consistency of playing.
Yeah.
Just beginning.
Because like the little bit that I played of this, it's
They're
simple.
all tired.
But when I stopped playing it, I had to go back and I was like, fuck, I have to remember. And I'm like, alright, now I remember how to play. Like you gotta, it's like that, it's like a stupid little bit of rust and you just knock it off. But that's because these games are so in detail now where you gotta hit this button to do this button to do this and do this.
Yeah. I'm kind of mad right now that we can't get the fucking the game to play. Like.
Nah, well, if anything, if not, well, it won't be this weekend, but we'll do it the following weekend.
Yeah.
I'll bring my splitter. We could retry it. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I was wrong. That's why. If we pause the game at any point or we save it and stuff, I'm gonna try something else.
We could pause
We'll go
it.
live.
Just let the story play real quick.
Yeah.
And then,
I would have to leave the system on without unplugging.
just unplug it. As long as you don't touch the power.
Yeah.
Now
I get this shit working.
the fate
Yo, these graphics.
of your entire people.
Like, I haven't played Last of Us 2 yet because they updated Last of Us 2 to PS5 like engine, like everything that PS5 can do. And it's like I want to start over, but I was like, that's a 2-week process because of like my normal life of playing that game. But I'm gonna come back and ready to kill somebody because that's how that game makes you feel. Like you feel like you're just alone in an apocalypse. One of the joysticks is gonna feel tough to hit, right? Don't hit that button.
So it is only back and forth.
Yeah. Nigga, it's still the game. It's still fucking Oddworld.
Use L to move around, hold R1 to run faster. Okay, I like do that.
It didn't like change the game. I mean, they'll add shit to it, but they're not gonna change up what's not broken. Like especially for like not a 2D more. It's a 2-ish, 3D-ish game. I don't know what the right terminology is for it.
Jump, press X to jump and Y to This is like this is all basic shit.
Yeah, it's all the shit you already know. You should know it already. Yeah. It's the shit that comes like after, like a little bit further down, that you're gonna learn that might be probably the same shit, but it's gonna feel different because of the way the controller plays.
Died already.
Yeah, you can throw it into the fire.
There was no fire back in the day.
Yeah, jumping match. Just go forward, yeah. Now, don't go, yeah, just keep going forward. Stop here to see what the and there's a save point. Nah, I think it automatically saves it. Yeah, you already know the fire roll. Just to get out of fire. Alright, we're gonna get into a topic very soon. I just wanna watch him get into the shit. Yeah.
Fuck, get up there. I gotta get used to gaming in general. That shit is crazy. Full triangle.
He has no idea what the PS5 controller does.
And select the water bottle with, aim, and extinguish the fire. Okay. Yeah,
If I put Avengers on this nigga, he would be like, what the fuck?
Alright, so,
Now you gotta throw it. See how the controller felt? You felt that extra pressure? Yeah. Nigga, when I was doing that shit with Avengers and Captain America, and I was just like, throw the fucking shit.
yeah, okay. with what is this? Oh.
You gotta grab the water. You already filled the water. You see, you got 20.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you gotta throw it, yeah.
And what's the one?
Throw it shorter, yeah, because you're gonna have to hit each aspect. Now one more. Nah, that's too short. One more. It's too long.
I know, I'm not aiming. That's my problem. This will fill up again.
Oh yeah. Fucking that.
And see, this is the things about you got to know about the original game.
Yeah.
Is that they always, without saying anything or even giving you a hint, there's always like secret things.
I mean, trust me, like I said, like I didn't play this shit like that, so I don't know. I'm the Crash Bandicoot kid. I was nigga playing Crash Bandicoot a whole Saturday afternoon trying to beat that shit.
Already there. Oh, okay, that's a new one. Oh.
Yeah, nigga.
No, I'm not giving up. Don't worry. I'm just switching the controllers. I'm not giving up.
Oh shit, I forgot to play for a second. Ah, I went into the fire. See, I'm just a natural gamer, but I'm reckless at the same time. So if you were seeing what I was doing, you would be like, this nigga's gonna die. And I'll tell you, I'm just figuring out what the fuck to do next. Oh shit. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Fucking brick fell in your head.
God damn.
Keep working. So anyway, people.
If you're not first, you're last. Alright, so we're gonna get. Wait, what are you about to do right now?
Right now, don't worry about it. Like, I'm going to just figure this out with the, but they can hear me on camera.
Alright.
So,
Because, let's see, alright, we're gonna start off basically with the shits. Because we gotta act like, it's not like it's not the most popular shit to talk about right now. And that is Loki.
yep.
So, as we get into it, I'm gonna get right to the jump. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good first episode.
I thought it was fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like, I thought, to be honest, I was just like, how are they going to top this in a way, you know? like where you're going from here, and not top it as in the other episodes won't be good. How
What
are
do
you
you
gonna
do next?
top this to be like, all right, like how are the other shows gonna combine together? Because what you're basically doing with this episode is saying that he's a variant, which is a comic book term.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, all right. So you have all the shit, and this is why I love Marvel. They go into deep history. So those, I thought the Three Faces was the living tribunal,
Yeah, that's the same thing I thought too.
and it wasn't. So when they said it, and I was
It
just
was
like,
between
yo,
that and Infinity. Like, Infinity was, nah, it's bullshit.
yeah. But they made sense out of the three characters because I did some research on those three people that they were talking about. They literally only been in probably 30, I think it was 36 issues of all Marvel comics. So they have hardly any history.
So
And-
it's literally three giant faces. Because
No,
I'm not
it's
gonna even
people,
lie.
it's people.
No, I get it. But you know what got me mad? Because I literally was like, Infinity. And I was like, no.
I know, I wanted
'Cause
that shit too.
it was so close. Like, it literally looked like it. Like, when they showed the part of the three of them and they explaining
Yeah.
the whole timeline shit.
If I unplug it, it'll still be good, right?
You'd be
Like, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, that part, whatchamacallit, when I seen the character, I was like, yo, that's fucking Infinity. That's one of my favorite aspects of it, the character, because like that name alone, and then you see how the character is drawn, it has that cool lore because it's like it's just you see through and it's nothing but planets, because that's what an infinity is.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then I started to see that slowly it wasn't going to be in that aspect.
It's not.
And I didn't mind it. Like, because I think that they touched on so much
Yeah.
that it made it make sense that you can't critique it. You could be a douche and knock it, but you can't really critique it. Because we could go right to the first conversation that a lot of people are having, and that's the
Okay.
whatchamacallit, the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Oh, they're paperweights in the timeline. So you're telling me that these characters died for nothing? No, they died for that timeline for
Yeah.
these stones. In other timelines, they have bigger threats, aka there's going to be a character that's going to be the new Thanos of this fucking arc that
Yeah.
we're going to, and it all comes down to time.
Yep.
So just gotta accept it. Like that's one of the reasons why this episode was amazing,
Yeah.
because everything that they did was time oriented and made sense, and it made everything connect. Like Loki, whatchamacallit, when he comes back, once he starts understanding, like, because that's the character. If you watch Loki, Loki is a intelligent character.
Yeah.
So why would he get locked up and not figure out how to way to break out?
Exactly.
And not figure out how to do it. He's the fucking king, the god of mischief. Like,
And
you
he
know,
says it. Yeah.
yeah, like that's what he does. That's what
Yeah.
his whole shit is.
No,
So
that.
yeah,
See, I think that's the thing too, because I think what they set up is so fantastic. Because this is where again what Marvel does right. If you take back to the original Thor movie, they had the Infinity Gauntlet there with the stones inside that the treasury.
It was the first movie. Yeah.
Everybody was, oh, this is Thanos, the main bad guy, and the whole concept is he's getting these stones, but it's already in there. And to be honest, you got to think like maybe they had stuff already thought of, but they just did it for fanfare. And then you have the fans bitching about it. So what do? They make a simple 2-second scene in what Thor Ragnarok,
Basically.
where he has to fight his sister, and his sister goes into that same throne room, looks at the gauntlet, said fake, puts it aside, and then everyone
erased it.
shut the
Yep.
fuck up because it
Erased
was
all
just
of it.
like,
Yeah.
oh, now this all makes sense. So I think it goes back to this where, okay, you had the Endgame thing, and you had a little bit of the multiverse shit with the Ancient One and the Hulk talking.
Yeah.
So they kind of explain certain shit there. Then, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna explain Captain America, like what happened to him. If you
Yeah, because
haven't
he's time
seen
travel technically. Oh, so you're gonna bring up the Peggy shit?
Yeah.
The Peggy shit.
The
Yeah.
Peggy shit was there, and it was just like, yo, they're bringing. I never seen Agent Carter the show.
Yeah.
Even though I think she's really
Nah,
good.
she's
Cute looking.
awesome.
She should have been Wonder Woman because damn, her titties good.
Listen, I want to marry her right now as I die.
But to me, it's just one of those things where that's why I like Marvel movies, right? Unlike DC movies where they make excuse after excuse or they just don't know the character. It's just like Marvel is just like, oh, you guys are bitching about something that we did for you.
Exactly.
All right, I'll fix this. Intelligently, they fix it without having it to be a big issue.
Yeah.
But with Loki, this sets everything up. This sets up the Spider-Verse that's apparently coming. I thought it was all bullshit. Apparently it's coming.
Nah, it's definitely coming.
And then you have the multiverse shit, but I thought that was going to be all Wanda, but it's not. Wanda, if you notice, because they talk about the Nexus, the Loki show,
Yeah.
Wanda's a Nexus.
Yeah.
So is she getting a pass for creating her own little
She
tiny?
created her own shit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, all right. But they're saying there's rumors. They're saying how this movie and Eternals are gonna bring in the X-Men. They're gonna explain the X-Men.
Yeah.
Those are all rumors.
Yeah.
I'll wait for it.
I don't know about the Eternals part because I don't even know what the Eternals is really gonna be.
All right.
To be honest.
The concept of the Eternals, right? And I don't know if they're gonna get into this in movies. The concept of the Eternals is that the Celestials, those big robot fucks, came to Earth
Yeah.
and they created basically like 3 versions. And I'm a little twisted, so I know if the nerds are listening to this, you'll be like, you're wrong! But they like broke humanity down because humanity was at its like the Cro-Magnon man phase where they're just like apes basically. So they came here. So you had regular human beings, you had Celestials, Eternals and Deviants. Eternals were the godlike like Odin, technically, like he's would be considered not sort of kind of like an eternal, where it's like they're godlike beings that are helping. They're supposed to be put there to help humans become a certain thing, and then deviants are like demon-looking creatures, like they're the opposite of that. So what happens is that Celestials put a gene in certain human beings that make them become like they're meant to be something. So that explains why, like, okay, Bruce Banner, if he's getting hit with all that radiation, a normal human being would have died. But he had a gene in him that the Celestials put in his, like, bloodline or whatever, that he could survive gamma radiation and to become the Hulk. They did it to protect Earth. So the Celestials are doing that. Eternals are supposed to be protectors of Earth and humans. At one point, they just left them and said, fuck it. And they went to Jupiter, or I think it was Jupiter, or Saturn. And that's where, Thanos came about, because Thanos is an Eternal. And Thanos' brother, Fox, Firefox or something like that reads minds. He was an Avenger at one point. He's an Eternal, basically. But they lived on that planet that they lived on, and whatever. So there's probably going to be like a lot of Thanos references in that movie. But the whole concept is now they're coming back, and we got to save it because the Avengers are gone. So they're saying that they're going to explain, oh, this is also why the X-Men weren't around or something. Or maybe that's how they create the X-Men. Like, hey, we're starting the X gene, so the X-Men are going to be around.
So you're saying that the person that would be there is going to break down somewhat.
Yeah, so the Eternals, I feel that is going to have a breakdown of like why, again, like Hulk and Spider-Man could get bit by a radioactive spider and not fucking die of radioactive poisoning.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll explain that and they'll go deep into like an actual Marvel universe deep dive. I didn't like the trailer. I'll be 100% honest. I didn't. That Shang-Chi, I didn't like that trailer either.
Shang-Chi, I was more a fan of than the Eternals.
Yeah, because I felt like, to me personally, both of them didn't have anything.
It looked like, you know what Shang-Chi looked like? Shang-Chi looked like fucking what Iron Fist was supposed to look like, to be honest.
Yeah, but Iron Fist has cool powers.
No, I get that.
Shang-Chi doesn't.
But I'm saying that Shang-Chi's supposed to just be good kung fu and all of that. But if you had a trailer that looked like that for Iron Fist, it would have been a lot more accepting.
No, I agree with you. Like I think that's my problem too with the Shang-Chi, because I felt like Marvel does have this tendency to go what do you call it? To be politically correct. So they're kind of like, oh, we need an Asian superhero. we need this and we need that, which is fine. But at the same time, it was just like Shang-Chi out of everyone. But I'm gonna
Well,
do.
they bringing in the Mandarin. That's why.
Yeah, but they could have banged the Mandarin and fucking Iron Man. But they fucked up on that. They realized they fucked up on that. They made a little, I think it was like an extra when you bought the DVD that the guy admits that he's not the
Oh,
main
that he
Mandarin.
faces like he's
Yeah.
doing the bullshit. No, trust me. I think maybe that's my bias. Whereas like, I think I like it more because of the fact that I was like, oh, at least the Mandarin's actually gonna be in it. But besides that, I don't really care. Like, it's one of those that I could watch when I need to watch it. Like, Marvel's dropped a lot of movies throughout the last couple of years, obviously. And I felt like even when it came out to like an Ant-Man,
Yeah.
I said to myself like, no, this is a must-watch like thing. Like, I can't sleep on
Well,
this.
see, that's the thing. I have faith in Marvel,
Yeah.
even though the trailer didn't look good. Because I agree with you, Ant-Man. Everyone was saying like, "Oh, this is gonna be the worst Avengers movie ever." Da da da. And then when you really think about it, I was just like, "Yo, that shit was fucking awesome."
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones.
And that's why I'm just like, no, I have faith in them. Like, I want to see where they're going. I'm not shitting on them now. I want to see where they're going. I want to see what their intentions are.
What their idea is.
Yeah, like where are you going with this? Maybe,
No,
hopefully.
because that's a character that is like, where do you really like expand him from here?
Yeah.
But if they really want to try, like, at the end of the day, like, it's been a talk of having, you know, we had the Defenders, we had all these characters on Netflix, doing all of that. We still, like, hey, Disney Plus is a big streaming platform. Disney Plus has been getting a lot of money since it came out off of their new content streaming. So it wouldn't hurt them ever to take that character, to take a Daredevil, to take a Moonlight, which they are doing.
Moonlight.
Because
I hope. Yeah, I know.
what's his name? Isaac, whatever his
Yeah,
name
Isaac,
is.
whatever, yeah.
He's going to be Moonlight. So they're taking these street level characters and they're putting them in shows. You just got to do it in the right perspective.
Yeah.
And I understand within the Moonlight aspect, and I'm kind of iffy about it too, where it's like, no, I want it to be graphic. Like, I need it to be kind of like a Daredevil. Like, Netflix.
What are they putting it on? They're putting it on Disney, right? They're putting it on
Yeah,
Disney.
everything's going to Disney. Doesn't.
Well, see,
how they
I
spread it
agree
out,
with you.
it's a lot of money.
This is where I agree with you. Don't be PG. Do rated R, PG-13. Do what you need to do to make it good content. Because again, the rumors of having that like Midnight Suns Dark Universe doing Blade and
Yeah.
Moon Knight and all this, I was just like, do it. Make it a separate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to make everything PG.
No, but that's the thing. Like, fuck, I keep fucking this up. All right, let's say Mandalorian, and I know they're more PG-13. It's always been that way, but that's a show where you would expect a semi-part of violence. You gotta look for something that is just like, yo, give me the violence. Understand this, when we watch Falcon Soldier,
Yeah.
and we could go to the point where they did the fight scene on the docks,
Okay.
where Agent Carter was there, right? Isn't it Carter?
No,
The bank broker bitch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's not Agent Carter. I think no, that's Peggy Carter. No, she might be Agent Carter because that's her like
I
niece
think
or
her
something.
name was Agent Carter, yeah. When she was killing everybody at the docks,
Mm.
right there. And this is something that it's a two-sided street for a lot of people, where it's those people, I need blood to understand that somebody died, and then there's the people that is like, nah, it's cool if there's blood there, but I'm more just speaking for myself. There's probably people out there that don't want to see blood, to be honest, that are really fucking weird. But I understand it.
I need to see it.
Yeah, like I understand, like, yo, Shorty literally just double tapped the nigga with a pistol.
Yeah.
How is he not dead? I don't need to see him bleeding out and yelling for his fucking life. DC would do bang bang, bleed out, and then turn around and have a Robin go fuck Batman. I take shots every time.
Yeah.
So like shit like that to me as a consumer, as a person that takes in shit, I never really cared for it. Like I don't care about blood when I watch wrestling, as long as it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
there are certain aspects of shit
But-
that it just if you do it,
Okay.
you gotta show the cut off the arm or a blood. Like, you gotta show certain shit, but
Yeah.
like
See-
it's like when they did the Falcon Soldier when I call him U.S. Agent because he's not Captain
Yeah.
America to me. He did the whole bang bang with the shield. They didn't show the blood shooting out, shooting nothing. They just showed when he had the shield on his arm
Yeah.
and he's standing there like breathing heavy, angry, and you're seeing the blood there.
Mhm.
That's all you needed. I didn't
Yeah.
even see the body cut
Yeah,
off. I didn't
no.
know.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
See, the only reason why I say like there's certain things like I don't want to see a Blade that's based on the vampires that drink blood and you don't see nothing and it's a PG movie.
No,
That's what I
Blade
don't
has to
wanna
be
see.
rated R.
That's
But
what
that's
I'm
the
saying.
same
Like
way.
there's certain
yeah.
aspects. Like Moon Knight, you can do not being rated R because his character is not bloody. His character is not cursing. Like it's all about.
But that's like
mental
the
shit.
Deadpool shit. Like Deadpool
Deadpool
he's
is.
gonna be rated R. Why? Because they know that they need to get an
Yes.
F in there.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why I'm just like, yo, if you're gonna. Blade is not going to be rated R, unfortunately. So I don't know how much they're gonna get away with or what they're gonna do. Again, I have faith in Marvel. Prove me wrong. Like, and I'll give you this, like people that if anybody watches this and they're like DC fans, I'm not saying that every Marvel movie was the greatest by any means, but
Every Marvel movie was the greatest compared to a DC movie.
I'll say that because it's kind of like I'll say Iron Man 2 and 3, boo. Thor 1 and 2, boo. Besides that, tell me a movie that was inconsistent, bad, not rewatchable. Characters are all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, explain it to me. Like, I would love to have that discussion because to
But
me
you-
it's kind of like, yo,
You know what one of the things is? I'll say this about because of some of the movies you said. Thor. All right, Ragnarok. Obviously, if you don't like fucking Ragnarok, there's something wrong with you. That movie was funny and it had decent action. It was probably the redeeming aspect of Thor. It really redeemed him.
no, it did. It did.
And
That's why I said 1 and 2 were kind of like, eh.
two, but no, see, that's where the issue is. One, I can't even think of one, to be honest. Two, I like two. I honestly, truly did like two.
2 was better than
Yeah,
1.
yeah.
But my concept was this. Iron Man 1 was the start of it, obviously, but was fantastic. Iron Man 2 was kind of like, eh. And then 3 was like, what the hell are you doing? But then Thor comes out, and everyone was just kind of like, And then 2 came out, was kind of like, alright, this is a little better. And then Ragnarok came out, and you're like, yo, this is and like you said, it redeemed him. It made him
It made him
like,
a different character.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god. It even made Hulk a different character, to be honest.
No, I did. Because when
Yeah.
you get to Endgame, you get
The
a
other
mixture of
aspect,
both
yeah.
Hulks. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it was just kind of like, nah. But my thing was like, all right. Iron Man got progressively worse, even though the first movie started it and it was fantastic. And
but
then
do you
Thor
think for
got better.
Yeah.
Captain America got essentially better. Like I feel like as progression of movies, Captain America's movies were the best. I was like, yo.
But that's your fault. But I'll get to that in a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
But do you feel like the Iron Man movies maybe were a lot more pressure because of what it was. Because like I feel like that's one of the reasons why Terrence Howard didn't get to. Like I know there's the other side where he did the Hustle and Flow, and Hustle and Flow was a big thing for him, and then he tried to use that as the negotiation point for money.
Yes.
But Iron Man 1, when it came out, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it wasn't a blockbuster. It was not.
Really? You don't
It
think
wasn't.
that?
It wasn't.
I thought it was.
It was a good movie, but it didn't have any redeeming quality to it. Mongo was bullshit. Iron Man was the only. The aspect of watching those graphics and watching a person
Yeah.
play as Iron Man on screen was the whole redeeming shit for me.
Yeah. Of
Then
course.
it made me go to watch Iron Man 2 because now I know War Machine's coming. Whiplash actually gave a villain concept. It was stupid, but it was a villain concept.
I'll retort you on that, but go ahead.
Well, I was saying stupid because they kept bringing up the bird shit. I know there was a little bit more to it.
I'll
but-
tell you what I like in a second about
all
it.
right.
Go ahead.
But little shit like that, what killed me was the end. Because I felt like the end could have been a more epic fight scene where you have Whiplash and you have Iron Man and War Machine. You could have did more. And then you bring in the droids or whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
the robots, because Whiplash took advantage of them and used them. And I felt like they thumbed it down. Like they were like, let's show you that we have War Machine here. He's gonna come back later, which is a Marvel aspect. Marvel
Yeah.
does do this. Marvel will tease a character to give you more later.
Yeah.
They will do that. So they did that, and then it was still Iron Man. One of the best scenes out of that whole second movie, honestly, is the race car scene when Iron Man
Whiplash
brings
comes
out
out.
the suit and he
Yeah.
puts it on. That's the best scene out of that whole fucking movie.
Yeah. 100%.
Like that's just what it was. Iron Man 3, I have no defense for it. I don't care for it. I nothing about it. But when it comes down to like the bad Marvel movies, I look at Iron Man 1 and 2 and Thor 1 and 2, and then it's like, which ones would I prefer? Honestly.
Yeah.
Because after that, Captain America's, I fuck with all of them. Guardians, I fuck with all of them.
Yeah.
Basically, anything after that, I fuck with them.
See, and that's another
Yeah.
thing. I'll go back to Iron Man 2. I'm not going to cut you off, but I'll say for the Guardians, that's another one that's kind of like. I was a little afraid because no one that doesn't read any comics doesn't know shit about. Like, they were like, what? They made that movie so fun. And again, if you're going to be a comic book, like. A comic book head where you can pinpoint all the differences between the characters. That I understand, because they were like, yeah, like, you know, the main character isn't really that kind of guy, or Gamora's more savage. You know, you could do certain things that you could pinpoint, like Drax is not that fucking dumb. But I was like, you made a fucking movie that was so entertaining and fun, and you enjoyed the characters. That's what Marvel does to me. So, I'll bring it back to Iron Man 2. The reason why I say like he got progressively worse, because it's my honest belief. But I was like, where they fucked up with Whiplash, he's not a bad villain in the sense of like. He's a street level villain, you know? And it worked so good in the cartoon because they had a group of people, which would have been cool to see on screen.
I mean, they introduced AIM throughout that movie.
Well, not that movie, but the third one.
No, they introduced AIM. Oh, no, it was the third
It
one.
was the third one, and then they fucked up because they didn't have MODOK.
That's my fault. I knew it was one of them. I forgot which one it
Oh,
was.
you almost killed yourself. But my point is this, right? I think, and this is how I think Marvel learns also. They looked at it and I felt like, yeah, they want War Machine in there. How do we fit War Machine with a guy that just has whips? But I'll give you the best scene was when all he had was the whips versus Iron Man.
And he was just.
Yeah. The problem
that shit
was.
fire.
it goes back to the, like you said, the problem with the first movie. You had Mongrel, who was basically a bigger Iron Man. That's what the end of this movie was. Like, you get Whiplash
He
in an
reformed
Iron
him
Man
with
suit.
fucking whips, yeah.
And then now the Iron Man suit has whips within an army of iron people. And it was just kind of like, you did the iron people so that War Machine has a purpose.
Basically.
What you could have done, and maybe it's far-fetched, I'm not a director or a writer, but I was like, why wouldn't you bring a second character, like Whirlwind in there, or Blizzard, or something, you know?
I don't think they thought that far. Like, they didn't think. Like, you gotta remember, like, honestly, when they were doing this, like, what is this? The Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, you could really say, are the test subjects. And Iron Man was the bigger of the two.
The two, yeah.
And honestly, when I watched the original, like, the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, I didn't watch it live in the theater. I watched that shit on bootleg. I was just like, alright, I'm gonna check out Iron Man.
I seen it in theater.
And I was just like, oh, this shit is kind of dope. Like, this shit really looks like Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And as a gamer, I played the Iron Man game that came out for it. When this is back when shit was actually cool content-wise in life. That they make games for movies and songs for movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, it came out, and I played, and I'm never gonna be uber Iron Man fan. Obviously, my skin is tatted with my nigga, but it was fucking dope. And like, what killed me out of all of it was just Mongrel. Like, and I get it. Like, and any legit nerd and anybody who's a legit fan of any of this shit, you know the fucking scene, whereas he built this body with scraps, and la la la, in the cave. Like, is that? But the movie didn't have what Marvel is now.
Yeah, but
So that's what probably what it is about it to me.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but you gotta understand, and I think this is where people get confused with the time. That was the first Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, it was.
movie.
Yeah.
That was a test run. Like, think about what came before that.
Fucking really nothing.
Spider-Man?
But Spider-Man was Sony.
Spider-Man was Sony. Came out before that. Before that was, I think, the original Hulk that nobody likes. Before that was
The one with
X-Men.
that retarded ass actor.
Yeah, and before X-Men was Blade. Nobody knew Blade was a comic book character because it came off as a, oh, this is a vampire
it was just
movie.
a cool ass black guy being a vampire killer.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, alright, then you had the X-Men, and then being young at that time, which is amazing to think
But
how
see,
young I
we
was.
get to that point, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember going to watch the first X-Men movie in the theater when it came out that weekend.
Yep.
My first hand job in the movie theater.
Oh snap! That's a good thing.
Yeah. So one of the first reasons why I don't forget it. And I'm just spilling shit because I'm a little drunk. So I remember that shit, and it was awesome. But this is before me and you obviously knew each other. I can honestly say I had nobody as a nerd friend to have the rage that I had after watching that fucking movie. From the costumes to Rogue to just so much shit. But I was just mad. I've never been an X-Men movie fan. Like, Chris and Kenny used to sell to me.
Yeah.
So Beast Titan and Unibrow,
Yeah.
for anybody who watched other episodes, they were selling me on X-Men 2 one time. And this is the summer blackout that we had fucking almost over 10 years ago. This is a while ago. Like, nigga, we were young. We were babies. Like, chilling out here. And I was chilling with these niggas. So we watching it on the portable DVD player. And they watched the scene. Like, yo, this is fire. I'm just, was it Brian Schneider? Whatever the fuck his name is?
Bryan Singer.
Brian Singer?
Worst director.
I'm dying for Marvel to make an X-Men movie. Because I, honest to God, watched
Mm.
every X-Men movie that they've made at least once.
I feel like it got progressively worse.
Yeah,
Except for
and
X2.
it did.
Except for X2. After X2, it got progressively
No,
worse.
X2 sucks. X2 sucks.
It's better than 1. It's the
Sucks.
best of all the X-Men movies minus Deadpool.
No,
You don't think X2 is... I'm saying, if you watched all the X-Men movies, X2 isn't the best
out
besides...
of all
Out of all of them, that's what I'm saying.
all
I'm
of
not
them?
saying Marvel, like,
if I
comic
had
book movies.
if
no.
I had to sit down and watch one, it would be 2.
Yes.
Would it bother me a little bit? Yes, but that's only because I hate the mansion fight scene. I hate it. It's not what it should have been. There's so much more potential in that mansion fight scene, and they didn't do it right.
Oh, that's out. Listen, fuck it. You want to get into it? I'll break it down. Being an uber X-Men fan, I'll go back. When I was young, I was stupid. I was excited to see X-Men on the film. So I loved the first and second one when I was younger until someone bought me the DVD and I listened to the extras with the director. Director Bryan Singer said, I was never into comic books, and especially into X-Men. I was more into Star Trek. But he just decided to make an X-Men movie because of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, he was trying to get ahead of the time. Now, again, I give X-Men 1 and 2 a pass only because of the time. Because that's Blade, Matrix, Dark Leather, everyone.
They look a certain way.
Yeah, those before Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the original Sony movie, really let people know, like, no, you can actually put a comic book suit on and it looks fire. And the movie will be good.
Basically.
So Spider-Man actually did that. That's why I think the original Hulk, I might be wrong, the original Hulk might be right before the original Spider-Man. That's why the original Hulk one, the shitty Hulk, that's not part of the Marvel universe.
He can't be, because Spider-Man, X-Men started with the first X-Men movie. No. Spider-Man started it, because Spider-Man came out in 2001 or 2000. I forgot which one. 2001 or 2000, one of the two. That's when Spider-Man came out. X-Men came out a little bit after that. And that's when it slowly started to build. Because Spider-Man has been a jumping point for everything. And I say that with fucking pride. Like, because Spider-Man Deadass has really been a jump off point. And you just gotta accept the fact, like, yo, besides Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire was on a 2-hit run. And his second movie was fucking better than the first. So, like, that was gonna get there. When we do the X-Men, it was literally bad, okay, bad, and then just kept getting really bad. Like, if you made it through Last Stand and you wasn't getting top, I applaud you, because that was the only way I made it through that movie.
See, well, my point is this, right? So, this is what I'm saying, I give the first two X-Men a pass. Because it was just that time. It was black leather, trying to be dark and different. This was before Spider-Man, so they didn't think the bright colors would work. So, I'm not giving them an excuse. I say the X-Men franchise sucks dick. I don't care. I think it's garbage, and I'm an uber X-Men fan, and maybe that was my problem with it, because growing older, when you start realizing shit, like, I'll take it from the first X-Men movie. How do you have Sabretooth? And the guy that looks like the stature of him is fantastic. And the only line you give him was, what was it? What did he say to Storm?
He said, something like, fuck.
He said
it wasn't like
to
a bleed for me or breathe for me.
Oh yeah, scream for me.
Scream for me, there we go.
And if you know anything, and this is where I say, this is where I have problems. that is a genius character, and you're saying that he's a character like the Joker in a sense, where he's very talkative, he's very like crazy and psychopathic, and the only words that come out of his mouth is "scream for me." And then you have Storm, who I guess because Halle Berry is a popular black woman, has a shitty
At that
African
time, she was
accent,
definitely
and then
the-
gave it up in the number 2.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, she's one of the most powerful mutants of all time, one of the best leaders of the X-Men, and you, again, besides the "scream for me" scene, then you have the Toad scene where I don't know what made him think like, yo, I'm gonna make Toad badass and everyone else shitty.
Because for some reason, frauds are cool to people.
But in the comic books, and again, if you want to do it right, Toad loved, in the beginning, Toad loved Magneto, and Magneto treated him like a piece of shit. And I was like, and to me now, again, the only reason why I give it the benefit of the doubt because of the time, but once it gets to First Class, then Days of Future Past and Phoenix, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking like nothing is ever right.
Nah.
Sebastian Shaw has Kamehameha powers when really he's the one character you do not need CGI for at all. And the one reason why he's so fucking dangerous is because he absorbs.
Amazing villain if they did him right.
Yeah, he absorbs all forms of energy to make him physically stronger. So in the comic books, being part of the Hellfire Club, if Colossus, probably like the strongest character in X-Men, hits him, what she did in the comic book, he absorbs the punch, but he gets stronger from it, and he fucks Colossus up. He's dangerous in that way. He can literally do this and get stronger. He's done that in the comic books. They put him in prison. He asked for a book, and he just started slamming the book on his head, and he broke out of prison. Like, he's dangerous in that way.
Baby.
He didn't need to do a Kamehameha Super Ball, like, oh, you touch me, I absorb it, and blow it up. Like, you're not a bishop. You're not a fucking maverick. You're not a this or that. Your character is a basic shit. And then it was just like, First Class, like, really, Beast's mutation was monkey feet. And he could run super fast for a half a scene. You never bring that up. And then, apparently...
Yeah.
He excuses himself. Wait.
I run to the bathroom.
He
never
excuses
gonna jump
himself, and
Talk
then
about the Sentinels.
and then he becomes like he could change at will. Like, those things are stupid. It breaks the character up, and that's what I don't like about the things like the X-Men franchise. No, none of the characters are right. Mystique and Professor Rex falling in love and being brother sister, and Mystique being a leader of the X-Men at one point. Why? Mystique is a great, mysterious, interesting character, and you make her this dull, oh, she has to be naked because of the first movie character. Give her the white dress and the skull on the forehead thing. Make her interesting. Make her a villain. Make her a great villain. Why she's a villain? She could get away with a lot of shit. She's a shapeshifter. She could turn into anybody. She could look like anybody. She could divert from a lot of situations. And it's just like, I feel like all the X-Men movies are just like, they took all the interesting aspects out of the characters and just put it like, this is Wolverine and the X-Men. Wolverine is the most popular X-Men character, but you could have other likable X-Men characters. We'll talk about Cyclops. Cyclops is another character where it's just kind of like you bitch them out to be some he's supposed to be a leader of X-Men, and you bitch him out to be a whiny, jealous guy. There's fights in the comic books where Wolverine tests him like that, and he
Cyclops is a god.
once Cyclops lets loose. There's been multiple times where Wolverine was like, now I know, like, I gotta, you reminded me why you're the leader of the X-Men. Because he knows that he's that powerful when he lets loose, it's a wrap. So it's just kind of like, oh, but you bitch him out because you want to make him a whiny bitch and make Wolverine look cool. Because Wolverine has to look cool. Then you have great other characters you could have put in, like Gambit, who's a different, great, popular character. You fucked him up. You fucked Deadpool up in the first movie, Wolverine movie. You fucked Maverick up. You made him Agent Zero without it being Agent Zero. And all the cool shit that he does, that Agent Zero actually does. Because again, I'll go into deep comic book shit. He started out as Maverick. Maverick had basically the powers of Bishop with the healing factor of Wolverine because of the Weapon X shit. And then when Weapon X comes and gets him again, they give him more powers. They make him have no scent. They make him have like tracking abilities so he's like the enemy of Wolverine. Like Wolverine can't find him kind of shit. That's why they need a Weapon Zero. But it was just like, no, you put Wraith in it by, what's his name from the Fugees. Yeah, Fugees, right?
What?
In the first Wolverine movie? That was Wyclef.
Wyclef, yeah.
Wyclef was in it. You got the guy playing Blob. Why? Blob was never part of Weapon X. He was part of the fucking Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. But that's what I'm saying. Like the franchise sucks in the whole, like overall.
Nah, they don't. When you don't put effort into actually telling the story somewhat right for the fans, you don't deserve the money.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And I bring it up like I'll give the first two movies an excuse, but then when you could see when things will work out, and then you make three, like what the fuck? Then you make, what was after three? Like
it was Acid, and then they started First Class.
First Class. Yeah. Then it was Days of Future Past. You fucked up with the timeline bullshit. Shitty Sentinels that look like vacuum cleaners, and then you had fucking Apocalypse and then Phoenix. Apocalypse, one of the greatest X-Men villains of all time.
They did Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Phoenix.
That's what I said. Yeah, Days of Future Past and Apocalypse and Phoenix. And I was just like, you just fucked up everything, everybody. And again, it was one of those things. It was just like, why didn't you just put actual Pestilence with the robotic horses? Like, make it look biblical. You know what I'm saying? Like, Archangel. If you would have set up the movies correctly in First Class as Angel being one of the first X-Men, you could have done a second movie where almost like a mutant massacre where he gets his wings chopped off.
Yeah.
And then that's where Apocalypse gets him. And you could have made a good emotional scene where everyone thought Angel was dead. And then, he comes back as badass Archangel with the metal wings fucking people up. Brainwashed.
Nah, that would have been...
But no, he's a cage fighter apparently. And so is Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
He's a cage fighter too. And Mystique saves them both. And another thing that people don't know that watch the movies and not read the comic books, Mystique and Nightcrawler are related. That's her son. That's her son. It's her fucking son. And like none of the movies they explain that.
They're not gonna explain this, but there's mad shit to it. Like fucking Sabretooth's connected to that family, but they ain't gonna talk about it.
That would have been a great movie. The fucking, what was that? The not Liberation. fucking Friends of Humanity. Mystique and Sabretooth have a kid that's a human and hates mutants and creates Friends of Humanity that's almost like the KKK of fucking mutants. That's a great storyline. Nothing. They have so many characters, so many storylines, nothing. And this is why people are like, oh, why do you hate it? Maybe it's because I'm too into it. I know all the shit here and there.
It could be a mixture, but at the same time, when it just could make so much better sense, you have the right to be mad. Like, trust me, when I went to watch the original Spider-Man, like when Tobey Maguire did the Spider-Man, like I was happy to go watch it. Like I went,
Of
I was
course.
there with my brother. I was ready to watch, and I watched the movie. And I'm not gonna even lie to you, my nigga. When that first scene comes and he starts,
Oh, yeah.
and I was just like,
What?
why does he have reps
Natural.
connected to his like?
Yeah.
I was like, I grew up like the Spider-Man I grew up on is the cartridge. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing. That's one of the aspects of him like that I love. Is like that he's not overpowered.
Mm.
He's almost in the middle, like because he's smart. He has the strength. He has certain abilities, but he still has certain things that he has to use his smartness to make him better.
See, that's where I agree with you. Where it's just like, that's an aspect of Spider-Man that people don't realize is he's actually a fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you take that aspect out, where it's like, oh, it's natural webbing, then you take out the genius of him creating his own webbing.
Basically.
And then on top of that, it's not just the genius of it, but think about, and if you never watched the 90s cartoon, I don't know what you're doing, but it's kind of like, think about how many episodes.
Short, literally with the whole drawing of the whole Sinister
That's
Six.
dope.
They didn't have my size, so I didn't buy it.
I want that shit. But if you watch the cartoon, how many episodes was it that he's swinging around, he's fighting a villain, and he runs out? But that's another interesting aspect of it. Like, shit, I ran out, now I can't web sling, so I gotta fisticuffs this guy. So it's kind of like, these things that people don't realize, to me, are very interesting things about characters that I feel that you got to put in to movies and put into shows. Like we were just talking about, I'll bring it up, Sweet Tooth, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do a review on the season and the shit
Yeah,
whenever I got it.
I'm gonna try to finish it tomorrow, but I can't guarantee anything.
But
I follow a lot of shit.
The first thing I was saying to him was like, yo, from the first episode already is diverting from the comic book, which not necessarily that's horrible. I understand they gotta change it, but there's certain aspects of the comic book, like in the show, the father was almost teaching them like, oh, the outside is bad.
Yeah.
So it's preparing his son for bad things. So he understands like, oh, like what's sort of kind of like, okay, things are bad out here. In a comic book, it's not. He shelters them. And he's so innocent in the comic books that once he steps out of the gate and all these things are just happening to him, he doesn't understand. He's learning as he goes. And that's what, to me, was the main book besides one of the story arcs, if you ever watched the show, that I didn't like. Because I thought the ending of the season could have been the ending of the first story arc. That would have been a great twist. Still, like it would have been very interesting. It made you want to come in and watch the second season. Mm-hmm. So I was just, alright, you're changing that up. I didn't dislike the season at all. I was just like, it's kind of different. I wish they kept more shit in. But I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand. Maybe reading a comic book is kind of like a different feeling, you know? Like, and there's different reasons why you like certain shit.
But that will happen with comic books where you'll read it, and I'll say as me, as a person who I watched Walking Dead, then read Walking Dead, then like my timeline was fucked up. Like I actually overread,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like where more or less I got into the story. So when I started watching Walking Dead, as I had the comic, I'm like, oh, comparison. All right, cool. But then when I started to read the Walking Dead comic, I had no idea that the comic was so far ahead of the show.
Yeah.
So by season 3 and the 4 going into 4, that's when I really got into the TV show.
Yeah.
I was watching it live. So when I read the comic, it was easier for me, and I'm just using it as my perspective, how am as a reader. Like I was reading the shit, and I was just like, oh shit, it just got better and better. Like I literally used to go to my job, and like I did this with Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet and X-Men versus Avengers, and like once I get a comic book that's good, like even like
Yeah.
the Death of Robin and shit like that, like I had the shit and I read it to work.
Yeah.
I read it wherever I could. Just if somebody wasn't talking to me, I read it. That was it. That was
Yeah.
pretty much how I went about this shit. So like those like for a comic book aspect, when it comes down to doing stories, like we're going through a lot of shit. So we talk about the stories like when we say like Moonlight and we say these characters,
Mhm.
we're saying it in the aspect of we want them to be almost accurate.
Yeah.
Not fully accurate, because fully accurate could be a little off,
Yeah.
or a little tone deaf, depending on the era.
Translation
Yes.
is weird. Yeah.
Yes. But there's a certain level to accuracy. Like,
Yes.
I don't know much about Moonlight, but I know what Moonlight looks like. I know what Moonlight is kind of about.
Yeah.
So, if you're not going to give me the first season as an origin,
Yeah.
and whatever origin, and that's me being fair, whereas like you gotta have an origin story and it not be accurate, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still somewhat of an origin story. Just give him his praise. Let him be fucking Moonlight. Like, let him have the fucking the personality issues,
Yeah.
the craziness. Like, it worked. Like that's why Oscar Isaac, whatever the fuck his name is, I'm not mad at that he's gonna be it. 'Cause I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I just felt like he fell into some bad roles. That's why I'm giving him the credit.
Okay.
But in between that, where we're getting to, where I was trying to get to within this aspect, as we go through the Marvel world and we're breaking down everything, as we get to Scarlet Witch, or well, not Scarlet Witch, my fault. Black Widow, fucking Scarlett Johansson doing the shit.
Yeah.
Then we get, I think we get another movie before we get Spider-Man.
Well, is it Shang-Chi? Do we do? I think it's.
I think it is Shang-Chi as.
I think it's Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And then.
Because Eternals is like November type shit. I get all of that, but when it comes down to all of that, this is where my issue is, and you could see if you agree. When they did the original first, what they call it, phase, arc, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it, every movie connected made sense.
Yep.
Everything that happened at
Yep.
the end of the movies made sense. So when we watched the end of Avengers and we seen Thanos, we had confirmance, like being confirmed,
Yeah.
of Thor and the Infinity Gauntlet
Yeah.
and all these possibilities of things. We got them.
I'll do it myself.
The only thing that is killing me right now is that unless Loki at the end of the show or somewhere in the show hints at it, It's like, yo, if I don't hear I can't say his name.
Nathan?
Nathan Daniel, like
Yeah.
Richards, or Reed, with Nathan Reed. Wow,
Yeah,
I'm
something
so-
about King the Conqueror.
Yeah, like
or
I'm saying his
Fantastic
name.
Four.
I literally threw mad different names out there,
Yeah.
but Reed, like Mr. Fantastic's son, being an issue, then I'm gonna get a little annoyed because I want him to be the next phase villain, and at the same time, the way the show ended, and yeah, this is almost 27 minutes into the beginning of the Loki talk. Fucking having the end of the show be, oh, we're chasing you, and then they just show him with the hood. I don't feel like it's him.
It's a girl version of him, from what I heard. Because
I don't know nothing about a girl version of him. So
in the comic books,
yeah.
they tried to do that. I think it was after Siege or something like that, where I think he lost his body, and they made him a girl. But that was also at the same time they're making a girl of Thor, like Jane Foster was taking.
yeah, they bring
Thor.
back Jane. Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. To be honest, and I gotta ask you, and it made me laugh because I know it wasn't gonna happen, but I think they did that because of WandaVision. But once they showed the devil
Oh,
on there, I felt like
the Mephisto.
Mephisto. Like I was just thinking Mephisto right away. I was just like, yo, if you and my thing is this: what if they're doing opposite now, right? They're just because they kept saying like, yo, he's not in here.
Yeah.
What if that's like a misdirection? Like, no,
I'll
he
take
actually
the-
is the.
I don't
he's
get
the
mad at shit
villain.
like that. I'll take it.
I would take it because I was like, you motherfuckers, you're fucking with my emotions.
The way
in a
they
good way."
said it and the way that they could mold it,
Yeah.
it works because you could still tell a story in the aspect of Mephisto being a main protagonist. Hey, look at that, look at that.
You learn from me.
I'm learning. So, one, I knew those words, you fucking privileged asshole. I just decided not to use them until now. But basically, him being that would be a good lead into Doctor Strange, where you don't still need Mephisto to be the villain in
No.
anything. Mephisto doesn't have to be a main villain. Mephisto needs to just be
Well,
existent.
the main
He
villain.
needs to be existent to be the puppeteer.
I don't know if they're gonna do it because he's too close to being Lucifer, but
But that's where you get Nightmare. And that's
Well,
where I was going to say,
there
you
you go.
use him to build into Nightmare at the end of the show.
well,
Nightmare should at least somewhat be
you
acknowledged.
get the reference
and
that
then
he
go
should.
into it. Yeah.
Because the guy, when Loki was going around like, this is a nightmare, and he was like, no, that's another department. You could
Yeah.
burn that down. So they're saying like, okay. But to me, I think my main thing is this life. I think they're doing a good job so far. They saying that this is a well. They said the same thing about WandaVision, but technically it could like it leads.
No, it's
into-
going to be a one and done.
You think so?
WandaVision is one and done, and this is going to be one and done.
You think so? I
Because
don't know.
great character, great actor playing the character. We went from, well, I won't say we because I don't want to be like I was in a group. But there's people out there that diehards that probably hated him, and then the fact, wow, God, I'm an asshole. There's
He's really like editing it. Let me play while you edit yourself.
there's girls out there that got attracted to Loki. Loki became a sex symbol in its own aspect. But for his show to go further, no. When he died in Endgame, I mean, no, he didn't die in Endgame. When he died in Infinity War, that was a moment. And if you don't understand why that was a moment, then you didn't really watch any of these fucking movies. So, him, he doesn't have to die at the end of the show. He could just be what he is. He could just be a time looping Loki and deal with his timeline. But he's going to interact with other timelines right now to try to help it.
Yeah.
And that's where he could run into fucking King the Conqueror. He could run into multiple other time traveler people.
Like the Beyonder.
Yes, and make boom, a whole new scenario. Why? Because he's the fucking god of mischief, and his whole purpose is to manipulate and get what he wants.
Yeah.
And that's why Loki is one of my favorite people that they put on this shit. Like, Loki went into being, as you said, Thor was trash.
Yeah.
Avengers came in, and they came in, and I love how they acknowledge it in Loki. And yeah, this is mostly a Loki podcast because the show is fucking amazing. I can like that. I love the fucking the way the first episode went. Like, they acknowledged what he did when he was asking, "Are you a killer? Are you this? Da da da? You look like you enjoyed when you did this. You look like that." But those are the things that, if you think about it later, if you watch that, like when I was watching it in real time, and you think about the other movies and the other shit when Loki's been on camera,
Yeah.
you start to realize, like, nigga, you've been the like anti-hero of this universe that we created, that we've been following.
Yeah.
Because we all, like, at the end of the day, I'll fucking fist fight you if you tell me that Infinity War, you thought it was gonna be Thanos killing fucking Loki in the beginning of the movie. And Loki trying to defend Thor and defend everybody on the fucking thing. He literally said Iron Man's line.
Yeah.
He literally said we have a Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's character development to its fullest. And that's not being like, he needs to be accurate to the comic, it needs to be accurate to this, it needs to be accurate to... No, this is our vision for a movie and it made sense.
Yeah.
Like, his death actually fucking mattered.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things about the whole Loki shit that built up. There was another thing about Loki that was
Oh,
in
I
there.
died? How does he die?
Yeah, nigga, because you have a power bar. It's hard, like this, because this is it's more like a loot shoot shit.
Yeah.
So you just go around beating up people until you get to the big boss. So you kind of forget to block.
Yeah. But yeah. So the thing about Loki, now, like, I agree with you. I don't think Wanda's a one and done.
Elizabeth Olsen already said it.
Really?
Yeah, she said it too.
Yeah.
Because it's not meant to be. Falcon Soldier's gonna be another season.
No, I thought the Wanda Vision had a good concept where it ended with like, hey, I gotta find my sons. Like with the screaming at the
No, I
end.
get that part. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like that would have been a good second season because I don't think they're gonna touch on that on the.
But it depends on how much they want to touch on. They don't have to touch on it on an aspect where it gets too detailed. They could get on it where it's just like when you introduce her,
Yeah.
you bring up that concept. That's the reason why she's getting introduced,
Maybe.
and then you go from there.
I don't know. I was just sad because I was just like, I honestly, for everyone that's just kind of like, oh, that show is weird. I'm like, I like that show, man.
No, WandaVision was the most
was
fun I had
Yeah.
watching TV in a long time.
Like, I know that's kind of where we started our podcast, but it was just like, but it literally was interesting every week trying to figure out what the fuck's
that's
going
the
on.
reason why. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't watched anything that we had a like. You think this? You think that? You think this? Like, there's nothing like that on TV right now. So you just go through it. Like, WandaVision still to this day, I think, still has probably the second highest view of streaming of everything out of the Disney Plus and all of that shit throughout the year, because it literally got more popular the later the season went.
Yeah.
Because of the aspect, obviously people didn't like certain things to it. But once it got to more modern times and people were like, oh, it's color and it drew more people in.
Yeah.
So, like, I love the show. It's a great show. I think that, like, they're going, and as his ass will shot me down.
Yeah.
Fucking, I was gonna say. Basically, I don't wake up at 3 a.m. to watch anything. I was up for almost 3 weeks at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Watching WandaVision.
like drunk off my ass on drugs. Like, no, I'm watching this shit. And then I will fall asleep and wake up at 8 o'clock. Because I don't sleep, so please try me. Yeah, fucking dead ass, like, and rewatch it. Like, because that's how good that fucking show was. Like,
No, I agree with
it
you.
was just a great build. Like, what's the black chick's name?
I know what you're talking about. Hold on a second. I'm just drawing a blank because she has like 3 Spectrum. Spectrum,
Alright.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau, because that's for everybody that doesn't know. Monica Rambeau, if you don't already know. Hey. She was another aspect to the story. Like, if you really watch WandaVision and you ain't really break down the Darcy vision, then Wanda, then fucking Agatha, and
Yeah.
this, and
You're
it was
trying
like
to
you
figure
really
everything
breaking
out.
down so
Yeah.
many characters, and you're like,
Damn, that
wait,
was so
where do
much
you connect?
fun.
Where do you connect? Where do you connect? Where do you connect? Da da da.
Yeah.
That
like,
was
to
what
me,
made it fucking
yes.
awesome. That's what made it awesome.
It was fun because, and I'll say it to even now, when the 3 trailers came out all at the same time, I was like, all right. In my head, I was like, WandaVision is gonna be second best show. Falcon is gonna be first, number 1, and Loki's gonna be the last show.
And it's not even going that way.
And it's not. Wanda so far is the best. And to be honest, I think Loki's gonna be better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And it's weird because honest to God, I thought Falcon. And I
thought
love
Falcon
Falcon Winter Soldier. I
Yeah,
really did enjoy
but
it.
you know what the thing is? It's like we were just talking about. It was like, yo, do you know how much fun it was? Bring in the Quicksilver from X-Men for everyone.
Oh,
to
that
be
was
like,
one of the
oh
most
my
epic
God.
fucking
Like,
like
is the X-Men
surprises
coming
out of
in?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, most epic.
So it was kind of like, that's why there was this, what's going on? Is this happening? Is she creating another reality? Is she bringing, and then when you find out, like, no, it was just Agatha, and you know, this is not really happening, or this and that, but it wasn't disappointing. It was
No, it
kind of
wasn't.
like, this fucking show was awesome.
Yeah.
We get the fucking white Vision that flies away that we don't know where the hell he is anymore. And it was just kind of like, this is why, again, Marvel's so great. All that show was Easter eggs. That's what made it interesting. The whole show was nothing but
Pretty much.
this is this, like the fucking magic show shit. The fucking the
Fucking
box that he was
children.
in, I was like, oh, that's the mind gem. Oh, when you catch it a second
No, it
time,
makes
you're
you
like,
feel.
what?
But that's the thing about it, like, because I think that's one of the things about that show in general, that they like, you know that they know that we look for these things, like,
Yes.
and they find ways to tease it and sneak it in the best way they can. Because I'm pretty sure next episode that I watch of Loki is gonna be like, oh shit, like some other shit that I wouldn't expect for them to do, like.
Well, they were saying in this one, besides the Peggy, was that, you know, it was like that judge lady, that black judge lady, whatever, that he went up. That character in the comic book is supposed to have a relationship with Kang the Conqueror. And Kang the Conqueror has dealings with those 3, the triple 3, because they're a time, and Kang the Conqueror is the master of time, basically. So I do feel like at the end of the show they're gonna introduce him. I don't think it's
Which
gonna
would be epic if I could see that at the end credits.
with the purple mask and everything. Like they have to
I
have
might
the purple
cry.
mask.
I literally might cry. Like, I
But-
would dead ass be
but
like,
you
oh
see,
my god.
This is where, as an X-Men fan, you gotta love it. There's a series called Rise of Apocalypse that tells Apocalypse's backstory. Now, this is why Kang the Conqueror is so great. Because he's not just known as Kang the Conqueror.
What is this?
He's known as Immortus.
Yeah.
He's known as an Egyptian. I forgot what.
Nah, because he's been through
And then,
multiple timelines.
yeah, and so he separated himself. Where in the comic books he has like 3 or 4 different mainstay names. One of them, I think Immortus was the Egyptian one. He's the one who kept Apocalypse almost like as a slave. And then when Apocalypse rises, he kind of destroys him. But in the Rise of Apocalypse comic books, Immortus takes the Fantastic Four slaves from the future and brings them to the past. So nobody knows him as Apocalypse yet. And it's just like a great storyline, like a great build. But I'm just like, yo, Kang the Conqueror
Destroy this one.
is the master of time. He's a descendant of Reed Richards, the Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's such a great tie-in. And it's kind of like, yo, it amazes me because even in, they're going to do the Young Avengers or whatever, when the Young Avengers came into the comic book, there was this guy that called himself Iron Lad. He was a young version of Kang the Conqueror in the future that looked like he put like Iron Man's suit on as a kid. So it's kind of like you have all these fucking tie-ins with just Kang. Kang the Conqueror has all these fucking tie-ins to X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Young Avengers, all these things from one character. So if you bring him in, and I heard like I forgot who said it, but they're saying like unlike the phases of Marvel where 10 years of being Thanos, they're saying like every phase is gonna be something different, which I'm fine with. That's fine with me. Like is it one phase is one villain, the next phase is another one.
But that's fine because that's more understandable. Thanos
to me,
earned his position.
But to me, it was just like where you could end it for me. I was like, yo, do a Secret Wars movie.
Secret Wars would be fucking fire.
And that's it. Like to me, it's kind of like you have to have Doctor Doom, so you got to bring in Doctor Doom first.
Well,
and some of the
Fantastic
X-Men.
Four and in the first phase.
That might.
Oh, it is.
No,
They
I'm
already
saying
announced
no.
it.
I'm
Like,
saying
yeah,
Doctor
like-
Doom might be their villain. I'm not sure yet. I heard that it's confirmed Namor is going to be the villain of Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Which is fine with me because they do have a little beef being 2 kings, but even though one of them is dead, so I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that. But to me, it's kind of like if nobody ever read the Secret Wars book, I think it's either the first or second one when the Beyonder brings them all together.
Yeah.
And the Beyonder is like this weird alien creature that kind of like has omnipotent powers, the power of God. He has everything. And he just wanted to see like, hey, who would actually win in the fight, good or evil? So he brings all these superheroes and then all these supervillains together in one spot, and they duke it out, and over time, like, I think on this planet time goes quicker, so it seems longer for them, but it's actually not that long. And it was just like, you see what happens. So once they're all together, a fight, like, one of my favorite scenes of all time, which I would love to see, because you gotta bring Galactus in it too.
Oh, alright.
But when Ultron comes, and he's just like, destroy everything! And Galactus just sits there and sucks all the energy out of him. And Galactus just walks out and does his own thing. To me, it's kind of like Ultron is one of those villains like, oh my god, his adamantium body. It's gonna be hard to stop him. Galactus is just like, yeah,
No,
fuck
this is
you.
how I stop him.
Yeah, walk around. Fucking the Lizard is fucking doing his own thing. Doc Ock.
But they
Dr.
put that,
Doom,
everybody
all
that was
shit.
on that shit was legit smart as fuck.
Yeah.
It was like, alright, let's just see who's smarter than who.
Yeah. And of course, Doctor Doom was running shit, and Galactus was doing his own shit.
Basically.
Like, I love that whole series, man. I love that whole fucking. I
Secret
wish-
Wars is probably be the one.
I wish I got the box
If they
set when it
ended
came
it,
out.
Oh, my nigga, I wish.
Because it had Secret Wars 1 and 2, but all of the in between. So you get the fucking Black Suit Saga with Spider-Man, I think. You get the Thing, because after that, like you read the first one, where he stays on planet because he can switch back and forth, or
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he can switch, or he's just human. But I think I just missed the Secret Wars box set, and they had everything, and I was like, that one, I would have fucking killed for it. And I hope they remake.
Nah, that's one of my top ones that I would love to have. Oh shit.
Even though the second one wasn't that great, because basically Beyonder
No, it was the
comes in
second
the
one,
suit
yeah.
and he comes to Earth and he's just trying to chill. But everyone's just like, "The fuck are you doing, motherfucker?" Like that kind of shit. But the first Secret Wars is just amazing, man. Like the storytelling back in the day, to me was just like, it's unbeatable.
Definitely.
How do you beat that? Like the concept when somebody just said, "Hey,
No way. You're coming.
Trust me.
X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic
This has
Four,
to be the way in.
Avengers, they're all doing good. Let's get their main villains together. Let's get their main people together at the time." That's why I was so happy when Spider-Man did it, even though it was very different from the comic book.
Yeah.
But I was still happy when I saw it in the '90s cartoon. That brought me joy as a little kid.
Nah, it was
Oh,
fucking
that was
awesome. Like freaking, honestly, all of that shit, I would love to have. Like if we really got the Secret Wars to like end, let's say like, cause we went through a whole year of not having Marvel. I didn't really like.
That was sad. I ain't gonna lie.
It was, but well, because everything else going on, maybe I just didn't think about it. But it was weird. And then once WandaVision hit, it was slowly.
Yeah.
It was like a weird, like I'm a drug addict, so I know what it feels like to get that high again. It's like getting
Yeah.
a good bro job, and it's like just, wow, like it happened, and then Falcon Soldier happened. I was like, great. And then it was 2 weeks almost that before Loki, and it was like boring. Like I looking forward to watching certain shit or to doing, like I don't mind it. Like even if I miss like let's say like a Monday Night Raw,
Yeah.
like if back in the day when it was good, when I used to miss it, if I missed the opening of the show, I would find a way to rewatch it. That's all I would do. That's all you gotta do. It's simple logic. That's the technology we have. So I just wanna hope that when I like we're going through Loki. So what you think was Loki's 8 episodes? 13,
Probably.
8 episodes? Yeah, some shit
Yeah,
like that.
8 episodes, because I think both WandaVision and Falcon are the same.
It's like 8 episodes, yeah. So you say 8 episodes.
It was 8 weeks.
I'm just hoping by that 8 episode that you give me something to look forward to
In the
within
future.
what 2-3 months, because I think the Black Widow comes out November or October, some shit, or September. It comes out one of those 3 months: September, October, or November. I forgot which one.
Mr.
Well,
Stark's archive. I'm gonna try to get it
This
open,
is
okay?
what's making me thought, because I was thinking about this. Do you think this is a way to bring back Black Widow back?
No,
No?
no,
As an alternate reality?
because what's the point of bringing her back?
Because she's a love character that they noticed too late.
No, because they knew every fucking loser that doesn't get ass and anybody who sexualizes women, Me Too movement. I love y'all. I felt violated last week, so I mean yesterday.
Whoa, okay.
Not last week. I meant yesterday. I felt like oh, I didn't tell you this.
Felt like a whore.
Yeah. I was like, why am I saying this nigga acting like this? I was like, I didn't tell him. Yo, my nigga. So I went to my job yesterday.
Okay.
Sidebar real quick. I go to work bummy. Like my clothes got bleach stains. I don't give a fuck. Like I throw garbage in garbage cans. Get what I'm saying? Like I'm fucking maintenance. I don't. What I look like wearing a pair of J's and looking nice to go fucking clean.
Okay.
Go out to work for a friend's birthday, doing, no, I'm just trying to be nice. Because it's like, nah, I work friendly, cool, good people. I never felt so violated in my life. Like, oh, black ladies just stopping and just like,
Cougars.
yo, my nigga, like, I was standing there and like, all of the older, like, I work with mostly females because I work in medical, so you know, there's a lot of AHSAs, there's a lot of females. I didn't think I was gonna feel like a piece of meat.
Yo, I'm going to explain. There's two things in my life that I felt like a total bitch, and one I'm not gonna get into. But one, I noticed that with the fucking Cougars, like, maybe it's because we're so used to us having to play the game to get the girl. But Cougars,
Nah, because all the
straight
young chicks that were around my age, literally, one of the girls, like, she was fucking with me, and it was my fault because I taught her how to say my name in Spanish. So, like, she seen me and she was like, oh, you really look like Andres today. And I was like, you a fucking asshole. And it was like, because the way I look and I smell, I just came out all poppy Spanish. And I was like, you're an ass. But I get it. But then when I'm walking past an elevator and I'm going into the elevator to go up, and the lady walking out literally stops and was like, looked at me and like stopped and then looked again. And I was just like, yeah, it's Andrew. It's the same nigga you seen an hour and a half ago. I just went and got a haircut and cleaned up. And it stopped, and it was just like, I felt horrible because I was just like, if I was a dickhead guy, I could have been like, I'll fuck all of you and I'm a piece of shit. I'll be the wrong side of the Me Too
so
movement.
Funny.
But
I
on the
felt
other
horrible.
end, on the other end, I was a fucking target. Like, I was a fucking target. I don't know how many times like, listen, I understand when y'all girls whisper. All right? I know what y'all do. Y'all do that. I get that. I get that. But I don't want to see someone around my age doing that shit with somebody older. Because now I don't know who's trying to fuck me. Like,
I might end up fucking both of you. That's it. That's it.
It don't matter. And he said it right. I would do that. Because I'm a savage. But at the end of the day, yo,
don't tee me. And I'm thinking the young one because it's nice and tight, and it's the old one. You better tee me and talk to me, bitch.
Listen, after like 3 flicks of the lick, she gonna be like, ah, yeah, your husband ain't hit it like this. But dead ass on everything, I was just like, wow. I wasn't really trying to do that.
Yo.
I was just like, glasses, earrings, smell good, dress nice, hey. And it turned into, I'm gonna tell all the bitches Andrew got money. No, you're not. It's like he got straight.
Well, I'll even bring this to the shit that I've been thinking about, whatever, like listening to and all that. Being the statistics now, and these are statistics that are real. And when you notice, like, relationships statistically been going down.
Yeah.
Marriages ending in divorce been going higher.
Cougars out here.
This whole thing about modern women and the way they think and like that's all the shit I've been listening to.
They started realizing that the guy was treating them like shit.
They don't realize.
Oh, they
The
didn't.
problem is they act in a certain way, and this is why there's so many cougars now, these single older women. And I'll even bring it back to Kevin Samuels because, you know, he's got famous off his controversy.
Yeah.
And I forgot who I was talking to, but I was just like talking about him, and of course it was a girl, and then they were just like, I don't want to, you know, like, oh yeah, I heard of him, but I heard he was a dick. I was like, you know what? Have you listened to an episode, like a whole podcast or whatever he does? No. Okay, I was just like, listen, the highlights that they do when he's telling the girl, like, all right, die alone or whatever, he's not saying that to women generally. He's not like, first he does an Instagram or something like that live.
Yeah.
They choose to be on his Instagram live, and if you listen to the whole thing, he actually has a calm, cool.
Nah, he doesn't go. He's not aggressive.
Yeah, no, not right. He doesn't do that. The thing where it ends up like, okay, you're gonna die alone. Like, all right, fuck it, die alone. Is because he has a long conversation with women, and they're saying these things where you go on his podcast and he's all about teaching and like you're trying to learn from him.
Yeah.
And then when he's saying, okay, he's asking you questions. Why do you think that? What are you doing? What do you like? Why are you looking for this? Like, what do you have to offer? Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's acting legit, real on his questions. And then when the girls are doing this, I deserve, but I have 3 kids by 3 baby daddies, but I want a 6-figure man. Like, what are you doing to deserve a 6-figure man? Now you're looking for a stepfather. You're not looking for a husband. Because your kids come first before him now, like a new guy.
And that's the issue of it, because it's like, you're speaking in an aspect of you deserve a certain type of nigga. And I'm comfortable with saying. So you deserve a certain type of nigga that you want him to have, what you said, 6-figure income.
6-figure income, or he's a high quality guy.
Now, 6-figure to a high quality guy,
Mm-hmm.
you have 3 kids, he runs into you in the club. You were able to move one cheek after the other. You were killing on your twerk game. You were the twerkulator right now. That's the fucking line these kids use.
Really?
Yeah. So you're the hot shit. That's what that nigga wanted. Yeah, cool. Y'all do whatever. You go back. You fuck. Blah blah blah. I feel sorry for him because if you're looking at him and you're like, this nigga got this, like, let's say my man works at a good job, 14,500, whatever. He puts on the blue collar or the white collar, whatever the fuck it is that you respect.
I don't know the difference between the two either, but
no, it's the white collar is the higher business, the blue collar is the lower.
Basic, okay.
So he's one of those people that do one of those. Now you got one. No, you don't, because of the fact that you should never make that man feel in any way that he has to take care of anything that you do.
Yeah.
You're a strong, independent woman, right? You are what you are, right? Be what you are. Let that man come in and let that man decide how he wants to move.
See,
on that aspect of taking care of what you do. Not saying that he comes in and he just sits back and I don't want to fuck with that. I don't want to fuck with that. I don't want to fuck with that. No. He let him go there and let him see like, oh, you got multiple kids. Let him see that, oh, you have multiple issues. Whatever the fuck it is. Then let him decide and let him move on from there peacefully.
Well, he explains this, right? Because most of these women are looking for that. But this also goes into his questioning of what do you rate yourself and how much you weigh and your dress size and all this stuff. Because if you look at most of the women that go on there that say they want a 6-figure man, it's kind of like,
I was going to combat what you just said, but now I get what you're saying. Because I was like,
it's not just that. It's not just that. Yeah. They're not saying they could. Actually, no.
Because like at the end of the day, I don't want to hear anything about like degrading a person.
No, he like this is the thing. He doesn't. When he asks those questions, he does it for multiple reasons, right? So he'll sit there like, so say if a woman came on your thing, he never judges a woman. He never says, oh, god damn, you're fucking ugly, you're fat, you're... He never says that unless certain things, right?
No, I mean, if they act a certain way,
yes.
He's gonna,
So if a woman comes on there and, yes, if they're acting arrogant, and if they're, when he asks us a question, when he asks certain things, or when he's trying to give knowledge, like, listen, like, because again, most of them say like, hey, I want a 6-figure man, or I want a high value man, or I want a this kind of man. He asks us, all right, what do you have to offer? When they're kind of like, but I'm caring, I'm this and that, and but he accesses this later in the situation because they talk, so he feels her out. So it's kind of like, all right, so he's sitting there, he feels him out, he's acting, they're having a dialogue, but you can tell with some girls, not even all the girls, not even most of the girls, to be honest, but there's a lot of girls, they come off very arrogant. They look, all right, I'll tell you his question, right? After a while, because it goes, when it goes to like, I want a 6-figure man, okay, how old are you? I'm 34. Alright, you're 34, you have any kids? 1. Okay, are you still in contact with the father? Yes or no, whatever. They can say yes or no, it doesn't matter. But I guess it matters in a way, but it doesn't. Why didn't it work out? Were you married? And did you get a divorce? Or did you just have a kid out of wedlock? Or, he asks a lot of intricate questions, but it details what her character is. So the whole concept is like, all right, so say, just an example, you have a 34-year-old woman with a kid that has an estranged father. Either the father is in the life or not, doesn't matter. It's someone else's kid. Now, regardless of what she's making, because some of the girls will be like, I make 6 figures and I want a 6-figure man, when it was just kind of like, but a man doesn't care about how much you make.
No.
So you making 6 figures, and especially if you make 6 figures to a 6-figure man, that's 10% of all men in the United States. He doesn't care how much you make because he makes 6 figures. He's the 10% of men in the United States. So he doesn't care. So what you're making doesn't matter. Good, you're working, good, all that stuff. Okay, so why didn't it work out with the father? What happened? Oh, it's this or that. So what did you do? What's wrong with, why didn't it work out with you? And most of the girls never take onus on them. So he breaks that down. So once they don't start really realizing, like when he's acting, he's all right. So how much, what's your dress size? All right, this much. How much did you weigh yourself? What was the last time you weighed yourself? How much you weigh? What's your height? Okay, and what do you rate yourself? From 1 to 10, but you can't use 7. So they do it most of the time. Most of the shit I seen, because I listen to a lot of the shit now. Most girls will be like, I'm a 7. So he explains, all right, not a 7, an 8. They say an 8 because he said that you can't use 7. There's a reason why he says you can't use 7, because of this. So
7 is safe.
7 is safe, yeah. So
yeah, I know all this shit.
Yeah.
Now, he's not that smart. He's just smarter than me.
Yeah.
It's just that I have my own mental issues that keep me from being as good as him.
Yeah. So it's just kind of all right. So then he explains, I consider Beyonce an 8,
Okay.
Kelly Clarkson or something a 9, and Rihanna a 10.
Okay.
So you're saying you're as good looking as Beyonce, and almost all the time the girls will be like, yeah. So you'll be like, all right.
And it'd be funny because they far from it. Yeah.
And he's an image consultant. That's his profession.
Yeah.
So he was just like, all right, no. And it's mostly like he's more on like black on black. Like he wants black people to be with black people kind of thing.
No, that's part of his shit. Yeah.
So mostly black women go on there. So he was like, all right, is that your real hair? No. Just your eyelashes? No. You got makeup on? Yeah. He was like, so right now you're not even at natural you. And you're saying that you look like Beyonce at natural Beyonce. And they were like, yeah, but Beyonce uses makeup. And he was just like, no. I'm an image consultant. I look at the before and the after. So this is my profession. So I'm saying that you're coming on here, you're looking like this with your fake hair and your fake eyelashes and your fake this, and then you're saying that you wake up like this is not your real you. You're asking for a six-figure man that's 10% of all men, and that's like 2% of black men, and statistically in America. But you think that you look like Beyonce waking up, and you don't. Everything about you is fake, and he's only talking about the face. He's not even. The reason why he asks about the dress size because he gets your weight down, and he'll say like, "Yo, you weigh more than a man. So how are you gonna, blah blah blah." But when he asks you about the rate yourself, he says just the face. Like, what do you look? Your face. What do you think you look like? So when they say name, like a Beyonce, he'll even say like, "Yo, so if I put you in a lineup of 100 men." And I put your face, Beyonce's face, like certain other 8 faces on there. And they say, oh, all these girls are equally pretty. You think that you're there. And most of the girls are like, yeah, I am. So it's kind of like, you see the frustration. So this is where the anger comes out. So it's kind of like, listen, man, I'm telling you this, I'm telling you that. You're being very arrogant, you're not being truthful, you're being this, you're being that. And then once a girl starts getting snippy with him, he was just like, you know what, you're not going to do that on my podcast. And he was just like, you know what, I'm trying to help you, but you could go ahead and you could die alone. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be a single mother forever because you don't know where you're at. And it's funny, it's fucking hilarious, but people take those clips and just bunch them together like he's a piece of shit. But when you're talking to a woman and they're just giving you arrogant statements like they're the shit and they're not.
That's the issue of a woman having a conversation with a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest about this shit real quick.
Honestly, people. And we've been on for a few hours now, so this is a long-ass podcast you better be enjoying.
They're always going to want, like we say, the beautiful lie. They're always going to want what they want.
Yeah.
We can never give them what they want. I've tried, I know multiple people try to get what they want, and I'm basically putting myself in trouble right now talking.
It's not like any of the girls that we mess with watch your shit, so it doesn't.
My luck, this one won't tell me that she actually watches, and she just waits, and she probably watches every time I speak.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Oh shit.
So the whole issue is in the aspect of I'm gonna speak on the Kevin Samuel aspect because it's a lot simpler. Him going and him saying these things to these girls, and you said like they bunch it up, like it makes them look bad.
It makes them look bad because
he turns around and he does what a realism person does, like a person like me, where I don't mind it, and I would never go to a female and tell them that they're not attractive. I would never discourage a female.
Yeah.
Ever in my life, even if I don't want to fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yo, you're hot for what you are hot. You could be hot because you make me laugh. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how that shit works.
Okay.
So when I hear him getting frustrated because of the girls acting that way, that all I can envision and all I feel is everything of what I hate now.
Okay.
And that's these girls out here, and we could go into multiple scenarios within what I'm about to say. But we went into where now it's like you gotta be hot girl summer, you gotta be twerk girl, you gotta act a certain way. So these girls, they go there and he approaches them and he says, hey, you compare yourself to let's say the Beyonce, like you were saying, and whatever amount of people are watching are looking and it's like, bitch, you're far from a Beyonce. But the double standard aspect of it is you have the YouTube people that are going to go, what a piece of shit, because he's saying this to a female. Me Too movement. then you get the other aspect of the people that are just looking at it, and it's a person like me, and I'll say, yeah, it's me, where I'm gonna look at you and be like, I think your ego needs to be checked.
For Kevin.
Just in, not Kevin, the girl.
The girls, yeah.
And that's how he is.
Yeah.
And that's where I agree with.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
well,
yo, I'm trying to speak nicely to you. I'm being
yes.
honest to you.
Yes.
And you still like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yo, listen, if you ain't got the hair, you ain't got the hair. Your bun is probably this fucking big.
Yeah.
You got the okay sign bun.
Yeah.
You're not Beyonce.
Yeah.
You better hope your body jiggles and jiggles the right way.
Well,
to have a Beyonce.
but see, this is the thing that, again, this is not in his videos. When he does the thing, when he breaks it down to people, well, to these girls mostly, and he fucks with guys too. I'll give you an example of what I heard when he said to a guy, because guys go in there and they ask for advice too, but it's just mainly women that he gets because
the woman looks at what he says and they want to attack. Yeah. Every woman wants to go at an arrogant guy that feels like he could say something to a woman.
Yeah.
So, as me, I have my aspects where I walk around and it's like, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. You like, if I don't think you're hot, if I don't think you ain't shit, I'm gonna let you know.
Like, yeah, you ain't
if
shit.
That nigga might want to eat your ass. I could give two shits about your ass.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
No, I agree with you.
Me Too movement created where we all need to drop on our knees.
Yeah, and eat ass.
And eat ass.
And fuck, and no matter what you are as a person.
Exactly.
But he breaks it down, and this is why I really do like him, because it's kind of like, I know from the general aspect, people look at him and they're like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, and he was married twice, and they're making all these excuses for him, but he's not opposed to talking about it. He talks about it. Why? But anyway, going back to what I was saying, he does go to these women, and the reason why he leaves off the 7 or whatever, and he talks to them, he's like, you know what? You're cute, but you're not Beyonce. Like, you're a 6. That means you're average. Maybe you should look for an average man. Like, stop looking for a 6-figure man. Look for an average man that'll make you happy. And that's what he's promoting. Like, he's just like, mostly it's like, yo, stay in your lane. Like, don't be why are you looking for this when you have a kid or two by a different guy? So you're asking a 6-figure man who's 10% of all men in the United States to be a stepfather, so he's automatically coming in second in your life because your kids come in first.
Basically.
And then you're going to say, he should be paying my bills, and he should be doing it, and he should be doing that, and I'm a 10, and I look like a Beyonce when you look like a 6, which, again, he says, you're cute, but you're not hot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but that's the whole aspect. Like, you gotta understand, like, and it's been out there, and there's multiple people that have had the surgery, and I'll even go to the Catch Me Outside girl where I was saying this shit, because I don't want to say, like, a lot of names for her, but the Catch Me Outside girl, her tits are fake.
No.
Her tits are fake.
Nigga, are you crazy?
Her tits are fake.
Are you crazy?
Her tits are fake.
Now, I'm going to sound really wrong.
Nah, she's 18. She got OnlyFans.
No. I'm going, because I'm going to speak before she was 18. I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you a picture. It's not a nude picture. It's not nude. It's actual like TMZ
As
picture.
if I know her OnlyFans was showing them lips, I would have looked.
But this is a picture of her 14. The reason why I know this because the Bonfire, Big J Okerson and Dan Soder, but they were talking about her. But hold on a second. What's her name? Bad Barbie.
Bad Bunny, Barbie, some shit. Yeah, the remote.
Are you trying to go to the
This
other?
is Mark DeRosa.
Just lowered it.
Welcome to the show.
I forgot this game is mad loud. I'm playing the show, aka the game we don't want to play me in, because it's probably the only game I can play drunk and sober.
Yeah, baby. Okay. Let me just see the images. And her tits are not fake because they were always humongous.
Nah, they were. I ain't no front. I would have blasted in that bitch's face.
I'm trying to find that TMZ pic. Again, it's not a nude pic, so I'm not showing fucking.
Nah, I don't care. I just said I'm gonna
Shows
come in
the
the face.
nudity.
AK, let me stop. Let me not give out too many secrets.
I ain't gonna lie, she probably has work done.
Nah, she's like, alright, real talk. She's not ugly. She's whatever. Blah blah. She did the OnlyFans. She made mad bread off of it. I don't think she showed any nudes off of it. That's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the massive ass tits. And even on the bonfire, they were explaining like they were saying like, yo, I feel so bad for her because she got famous so young from the stupid Dr. Phil.
But she
And-
went through mad with the Dr. Phil shit. I don't know if you've seen all the other shit that's been happening with
Well,
her.
before she came out and said how that stupid thing that was fucking like
Yeah.
abusive. But my
And
thing,
mind you, everything is abusive now, so it's hard to really believe anymore.
I honestly thought it was fake on a level of I think all those things are fake on a level
Yeah.
of fucking like Jerry Springer. And I like maybe there's some realism to it, but you got to think about it. Your mother went out of her way to go on Dr. Phil and put your dumb ass, because when she did that whole thing, she was 14 years old.
know.
So it's like she had no right to do that. Her mother had to say, the okay. Her mother went on there and did her own shit. Her mother's fucked up. Like I could have never imagined bringing my daughter, my niece or nephew, like, hey, she's acting like a hoe.
But that's a
and-
different thing.
and put her on
It's-
TV.
No, I get
Fuck
you.
you. Fuck
Because
that.
you know what's funny? I use this aspect. Chilling with Shorty, we were watching Cheetahs and we laughing. And I'm saying, I'm just like, it's weird. Like, it's like there's literally people out there that they don't give a fuck. They will put their life out there for
Yeah.
people to watch because I guess maybe they do know it benefits them.
Yeah.
And maybe they're that smart that they realize and you become rich.
Yeah.
And you have all the shit of bad Barbie, bunny, baby.
Yeah, they become rich.
Come in
yeah.
my face, OnlyFans originator looking bitch does. Because that's what that girl looked like. She could have been the poster child for the OnlyFans startup.
Oh, yeah. Now she's just super skinny. I like the wearing.
Well,
the
yeah.
meat on her. But that's
So-
what drugs do. Drugs do. Sorry.
So basically, what I was getting at, like, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting the Me Too movement, but I want to say like it's annoying when it's like when you know the people that I've grown up knowing, and it's like, yo, I literally watched girls fuck over niggas more than niggas don't fuck over, and I love it. I literally, like, yo, hey, if I eat that box and you just made bread off of that, like, wait, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's shit like that. Like, there is no such thing as a Me Too. There is no such thing as a cancel culture. There is no such thing
No,
as any of this.
there
shit.
are such thing, and that's a problem.
No,
The
there's not.
fact of the matter is, we're all so weak as a culture. Is that, and this is all the things I'm listening to, and I'll go back to the women shit. It's amazing to me, and amazing in the sense that upsetting to see how many women are actually out there, and
Women make more money than niggas right now.
no, it's not about
And they don't even know that.
It's
They
not
just
about
think
that.
that they work their 9 to 5 and they're getting ripped off.
It's not about that.
Y'all bitches make a lot more money whenever y'all
It's
want.
called taking, and not, what's the fucking word? It's not responsibility, but it's the same concept as responsibility. No women take responsibility for other women in the sense that when you're talking about women in a general sense, and I listen to a lot of different YouTube videos and podcasts when they have streaming of people. I can name them if you want to, but you got women in there, and most of them, mostly all of them, do this thing where a man would be like, yeah, this is what a man does wrong. This is what a man.
No, yeah, they do
this
that.
way, and then there is no but.
All right.
When a woman, they're like, all right, so where does a woman take responsibility for her own thing? And it's like, all right, some women, like, every girl has it. Well, some
No,
women
but
that's
that's always gonna be the
guys
explanation.
do that.
Listen.
That when I say the but, they always have to do that. But guys do this, and it's like we're not talking about guys. We're talking about women, like
Oh, I don't even want to get
where
into it. 'Cause I
women
didn't really
take
get into it.
responsibility for the problems of women and what women do wrong. All the shit I listen to is that they do some women do this, but guys do this.
No.
And it was just kind of like, stop with the but guys.
No.
Stop with the but guys.
No.
How about women? Just say generally speaking, because when guys talk about guys, I always say, I never disclude myself. When I talk about general guys in my personal life to people, I say generally guys like this and generally guys do that and blah blah blah. Whether it's pertaining to me or not. Because I can sit here and be like, I'm different than this and I'm doing it and I'm not like this, but at the same time it's kind of like everyone does that. So how does it look different on me? I know who I am, but I understand what guys are.
All right.
So I can sit here and I can be like, hey, yeah, mostly guys do this. I'm not going to exclude myself. I don't have to say that. I would say, yeah, mostly guys do this. There's no but, there's no this. I never bring in women
All right.
in it. But when I personally, in my personal life, talk to women, and then when I see the shit, this is where it amazes me in a disappointing way. It's kind of like, yo, I had personal conversations with either friends or girls I'm messing with or whatever, and they're saying the same shit that these girls are saying, which I know is not written down. They're saying the exact same shit.
No, it's the same shit.
And it's kind of like, you never stop saying, but men do this, like, but
No,
men are
that's
assholes.
the
Men are
doctrine
trash.
of what they say,
Why?
yes.
All right. And my whole aspect is this, because I feel like women really don't understand. You are responsible for sex, and you are responsible for kids in the sense of this. You choose to have it. I can't tell you as a woman to have an abortion, and if you decided to have an abortion as a woman and I said no, you're still going to have the kid.
All right.
So it's a woman's choice to have the kid regardless of the situation, minus like take rape out of it, please, because
Well, obviously-
rape is a different thing.
Well, just
like
say
a
consent,
different talk.
but through
Consensual sex,
yes.
So it's like you choose the man you have sex with, because obviously we can't choose to have sex with you because we would be fucking everybody all the time. We would all be naked just fucking having sex with people.
As
running
humans,
trains.
yeah. I mean, trust me, I know enough people that I've met in my life that sex, just to have sex is wrong.
Yeah. So
Like,
having sex, generally speaking, is just sex. So it's kind of like you choose to have sex because if it was up to us guys, we would have sex with every attractive girl that we see everywhere. So you choose to have us. That's on you. It doesn't matter if we're bad people. You choose to have sex with us. So if we're bad people, what does that say about
wanna
you?
have sex with us,
The
well,
girls
we're bad.
blame us because, oh, you lied or you
it's
did
their
all-"
fault. Listen, you
choose
like
to have
us
sex with
as a piece of shit more than you like us
Yes,
as the person
and
that treats you right.
that's another fact. Then again with the kid issue I just bring up, and it was like those are factors. Us as guys choose to have a relationship or not with you, and that's a fact. So I'll say in certain situations I've had, and I'll say I'm not going to say that, but I'll say I talked to a girl that maybe I was messing with, that maybe wanted to be in a relationship with me, that I didn't necessarily want to be with her. And not that she was a horrible person or anything like that,
Yeah.
but we were asking questions back and forth to each other, like those stupid, like real little random questions, right? Like, what are you looking for in a person? Shit. So she explained everything opposite of she was. She was like, I don't want to have a person like me in a relationship. I need someone more opposite. So I say, that's funny to me because you're basically telling me that you're not, you don't, you wouldn't want you in a relationship. So
Yeah.
what makes you think a guy would want you in a relationship? Yeah, but basically the guy would have to like deal with me or work with. And so I was just like, all right. And I tried to explain it. I didn't say it fully, but my explanation to this was, or in my head mostly, was kind of like, I'm a very self-loathing person.
Okay.
But when I look at when I explain what I want in a relationship with a girl, it's me, in a sense, minus the depression.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I want a girl that's calm and doesn't go out all the time. I want a girl that is okay with coming home, and not saying that the girl has to cook all the time, because I like cooking, but doesn't mind cooking, doesn't mind cleaning up. I don't want a girl that's messy. I don't want a girl that's on social media. I'm not on social media like that. I don't want a girl, I want a girl that's more similar to me, that's calm, that I could actually come home and we could enjoy being home and watching TV shows and movies together.
You know,
so
I've heard
I want
literally.
I want to date myself
You don't
in a weird
understand,
way.
but you don't understand. All right.
I don't want to date the opposite of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a self-loathing person, so then when I talk to
No, because you don't get it. You
Okay,
This is
explain.
why you need to get back out there.
Okay.
It's the same as you literally said everything that I tried to say to someone.
Okay.
And literally, my response was, you think I'm gonna stay home while you go out and you just do it? And I was like, I didn't ask you to not enjoy life. I just don't want you to go fucking other people and being a fucking hoe. Like, and I'm not saying I'm going to be a hoe while you don't be a hoe. I'm just saying, can we figure this out together?
Well, what is the opposite of me?
This is the opposite. You, as you were saying it, you were coming off as, I'm going to live my life, but I want a girl to stay at home and do this. Like, I'm saying this because I said it the same way.
Okay.
And I said it to a female, and I was just like, oh shit, that's not what I really meant. Because it's within my personality. I don't give a fuck. I'll stay home, drink my liquor, play video games. She come home drunk from her hot girl summer that she was having fun. As long as she come home, she's coming home here. I don't care if she went out and had drinks with her friends. You could do that, but you came home. So that's a plus. So that's one plus. Now the second plus, you're coming home semi-drunk. I might be a little tipsy because I decided to drink while I play video games. So now I'm having drunk sex with you. But I let you have your fun. Because at the same time, I can't not let you have your fun if I want to go have my guys' night fun. So I can't look at you and be like, nah, you can't go bar hopping with your homegirls. Even if I know her homegirls are trash. I can't do that.
I don't believe in that.
Because at the same time, she might know my niggas is trash.
Okay.
Yes, we should both be able to believe and trust each other, whereas like, nah, I know that nigga's gonna do this, but I'm gonna let him do this. Just like I know that bitch is gonna do this, and I'm gonna let her do this. That should be a fair aspect of the shit. I just want fairness. I'm not looking for favoritism or anything. I will cook dinner. Like, I do not give a fuck. You can make more money than me,
See,
and it doesn't bother me because my ego does not bother me that much because I could do other things that are amazing.
See, to me, yeah, I don't think that I'm wrong in what I'm saying. Like, 2 weeks
I'm not
ago,
saying that you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that
I
it
agree.
comes off a certain way to certain types of people.
certain types of people,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. I'll say I have my standards. It's my standards. I don't want a girl that wants to be out all the time.
I don't know.
That's
I'm
just a
saying all the
fact.
time, but you're allowed to go out and have fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
but there are double standards in sex, and not sex as in the physical act of sex, but sex as in male female.
All right.
When a girl goes out with her girlfriends and they're going out as a girls' night out, and I seen this. I seen this with my exes hanging out with them after
Nah.
I've been and they have boyfriends.
Okay.
It's you're acting like a hoe without your man there
Because she has her
because
freedom.
you're out with your
yes,
friends.
Yes. I get what
Regardless
you're
of what you're doing, you're acting like a hoe. To me, if you want to act like that, stay out and act like that. Don't come home and think that you can kiss me on the mouth
And
while
see-
you
and
while you
that's-
acting like a
and
hoe.
that's the issue of the shit. Like, maybe I don't know. I'm saying it as like she could. You're allowed to be flirty. Why? Because
I don't
listen,
agree with that.
I'm fucking flirty. I know I'm flirty naturally when I drink.
Okay, I'm not
So
saying
I can't
this
get
is-
mad at you
but
about.
that's great.
I just don't want you to hook up.
See,
you
this
know
is
what
where
I'm
we
saying?
disagree.
Yeah.
This is where I say like it's my standards versus like you might have your standards.
Yeah. I'm trying to
me,
have three ways and shit.
I'm
Fuck
not.
yeah.
I know how this is where I was saying, this is where I was going back. I want a girl that's more like me. That's loyal, that's respectful. All that shit is disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
If I would have seen that in public, I told girls this before. I was like, I don't have the patience for trying to figure out if you're being this way or not. If
Alright, I
I
get what you're
think
saying,
you're
yeah.
fucking
I
around,
get what you're saying.
goodbye.
Mhm.
I don't care how long we've been together or how long we've been fucking around or how long we've been whatever. My point in my life is that, and I'll agree with you on this point.
Yeah.
No one's gonna tell me not to hang out with my guy friends
Yeah.
or my friends in general. I have friend girls. So
And-
am I gonna look at a girl and be like, "Hey, you can hang out with no one, but I can"? No. But, and this is the big but when it comes to me.
Okay.
Where it's just kind of like, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do this and not have you do this. That's stupid. That's unfair. And being controlling. I'm not gonna say like, hey, I'm gonna go on vacation
No, yeah,
and fucking go to Vegas
and that's
with my
the shit.
boys
Yeah,
and you
like
stay
I
the fuck
just say
home,
that
bitch,
shit
all
because
year
that's
long.
my shit. Like, listen,
What?
at the end, I could literally like, and she knows, and like I say, like, cause I said like, if she listens, whatever, she knows what it is. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, nah, like I do flirt, but she knows the game. Like, but I'll text her and be like, yo, I went to a strip club, so obviously. I was talking to females. Obviously, I was
Okay.
interacting.
See, this is the
Obviously, I was
difference.
doing
See,
something.
this is the difference
Yeah.
where I say I come in the sense of a relationship, and this is where I'm saying, be honest with me when it comes to girls, because when it's relationship Nick, it's serious Nick. So, the example I just gave, like, oh, if my friends go out to Vegas and do, I am not gonna go to Vegas, and it's not because I don't want to hang out with my girl. If I'm serious with a girl.
Yeah.
And we're serious, not like some, oh,
No,
I
I
dated
get what
her
you're
for
saying.
2
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna not go.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, oh, we've been together for fucking 5 years, we're about to live together, some shit, or we've been living together.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to Vegas with my single guy friends. That's just a fact.
Nah, you should.
I'm not, because I wouldn't allow that with that girl. So I wouldn't do that with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't allow that. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't have girls' night out, but at the same time, I just look at it as kind of like, yo,
I get it. I don't know. Like,
if
it's,
there's something with me I have to fix, I know that.
no, everybody has
I
that
think
shit.
we're
Yeah,
both
everybody
broken,
has that
but
shit. Yeah.
I think it's like, I'm here, and there's certain aspects. If you can't enjoy staying with me, being in the house,
But see, you know
and
what?
fuck the cooking shit. Like, the cooking shit I
Yeah.
just bring up, but it's just kind of like,
But
yo,
that's you. That's your shit. Like,
Yeah,
you're
that's my
good at
standard.
that.
Yeah.
Like me, like I'm good at like where I can say like, yeah, I'll say like, all right, you want to go out and do that? Like, leave me the fuck alone, and I'll do my
yeah.
shit.
So it's different
And
standards.
you
and
come
different-
home after having a fun night, cool, because I know whatever, like, because we're most likely are going to text, like, don't get me wrong, like, we're gonna have some interaction,
Yeah.
but like, I just, because everything that I've gone through my own personal shit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a controller. I don't care. Your free will is my blessing within the aspect of your respect towards me.
Okay.
So if I'm like, yo, do you? Me saying that is, yo, you go do what you do, but understand that whatever you do, I'm looking as respect towards me.
Okay.
So if you could think in your head like, oh, that was something that will piss off me,
Mm-hmm.
like Andrew, whatever, then don't do the shit. So you know you're not legit hooking.
Okay.
You're not hooking up with niggas. You're not hooking up with you. You can hook up with a girl. I don't care. Girl hookups, I do not care. I'm in for it. All of that. That's me. It's just what it is. Like, and I'm not saying as on what the people's called the three-way dating people. I don't do that shit.
Swingers.
Yeah, like
Swingers
that type
or
of shit.
polygamy?
Yeah, like
Polygamy is basically
yeah,
you have a
that.
girlfriend and you both have a girlfriend
Yeah.
with each other.
I'm not fully
Swingers
into
is
that
like-
shit, but yeah, well, want to have a fun weekend? Yeah, my girl wants to get eaten out by a girl. I'm hitting her from the back or whatever, like vice versa, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have that fun. Like me and my girl, we had that fun where I could go and we could talk about other females, and it's not like anything like that because she understands where I look at it and it's like,
Yeah,
if
but-
I wanted others, I could do others, but I'm not doing
I
that
look
the
at it
same
as-
way that you could do vice versa.
See, my
Yeah.
my mentality is, yeah, she could talk like women like that to you, but when she's with her girl, she's talking about niggas like
Exactly.
that.
No, and I agree.
And that's what I
no, I agree.
disrespect.
But I just don't feel, I can't feel disrespected because of the fact that I've watched everybody that I've ever seen from married to not married to this, like, if you love your wife, you love your wife. But at the end of the day, when she's not there, you're a nigga with a dick. And it's a stupid concept, but it is what it is. Like, hell, I want to fuck girls that I don't even want shit to do with. I just wanted to hit just for the fun of it. Like, when you get to that part, that's when you really have to, like, reevaluate yourself. Like, I just wanted to have sex just to have sex for fun. Like, oh, you're petite? Hey, fuck it. I just want to see if I could flip you around in bed and figure out different ways to hit it. I love fat bitches. It's fun. Chunky, chubby, whatever, BBW, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Love it. That's my shit. But little ass ones, I'll flick them around. It's just little fucking things. Like, everybody got their fucking preference. It's just, like, when it comes down to the control shit, I can't speak on it because I refuse to try to come off anything controlling. If you could disrespect me, with me giving you free will, then you could disrespect me giving you control, you know?
Well, see, I think that's the other problem is that it's labeled, to me, it's not labeled as control. I'm not saying, hey, a girl that this is where I'm saying, like, honesty comes into me. Be who you are, I'll treat you accordingly. But just be honest. I'm saying, personally, I want a boring ass girl. I want
You
a
want that.
boring
And that's the
ass
complete, but
girl.
see, that's the opposite of us.
But-
Like, I don't want a boring, I know I want my girl to be what my girl is. I want that. So that's what I work for. I'm just a piece of shit. Like, so I deal with what I deal with. And I go through what I
Yeah, no.
you know, but
I'm-
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me
we
wrong.
just have
Yeah,
different
yeah,
standards.
exactly,
Like
yes,
that's
yes.
not a problem. All I'm
Yes.
saying is like that's where we different. I don't look at it as control. Like I would never look at a girl and be like, this is where I'm saying the honesty comes in for me. If you're that way, I'll never stop you from being that way, but I'll never look at you as a serious relationship.
All right.
But that's protecting both of us.
Yeah.
Because I tell people, like, listen, if I don't think that we will collaborate in that sense, you won't like me in a relationship because I am this way. I don't take certain things.
You don't
I'll
like
give
certain
you-
shit. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Damn, I want to bring up personal shit, but I can't. But it's kind of like, to me, it's not about control. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm trying to control. You're like, stay your asshole,
No,
bitch.
but there has to
But
be
the
an
thing is,
understanding.
I want someone to be boring. So they be boring. We could be boring together. Like, yo, I would love. To me, happiness is to come home to a girl that's home, that's not begging to go out every fucking night or every other night or every other weekend
but I don't-
or
I don't
all
know.
this shit. And oh, my homegirl's having a party here. Or their guy friends are throwing a pool party, and this person is like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I would want to come home.
I don't
and I
think you
want a
realize
girl
that
that's
we old,
home,
nigga.
enjoy being home.
We're old, so we want to be more laid back because I'm the same way.
Which
That's
you're
the
not.
whole
You're saying
aspect.
like you want a girl that's
No, I
not
love
boring.
no. Alright, it comes off funny because like the way I'm saying it, it doesn't really sell the point. Alright, so the aspect is I'm looking at it as I usually date people younger than me.
I think we all, as guys, we do. Yeah.
So I've always been in the aspect of I know who the fuck I am, and I don't fake it to where I like I'm going out tonight because she's going out and I need to be there. Where I've seen these type of niggas,
Yeah.
like they look miserable in the fucking bar, miserable in the fucking club,
Yeah.
but they look so hard at their girl. Like, I can't wait till you rub your ass on a nigga's dick.
Yeah.
To
So
bug out, yeah. That's some type of niggas. That's not me. No. How old are you? You know you already know the shit I dealt with. Nigga, you see me leave the crib at 4 a.m. to go do what I do.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel the way I feel. Like, no, you can do what you do. Listen, I don't care. If you bring it to me because of something that happened,
Yeah.
I'll deal with it and I'll handle it. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about it. At the end of the day, I just want you to understand, know that you can grind, do certain levels of shit, but there's no such thing as penetration. Like, in my opinion, like, yo, dancing is fucking grinding. At the end of the day,
I
from
understand
Spanish to English, like, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like when you get to that point, but I'm speaking this in the aspect of the others, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the jealousy aspect. And I'm not saying that you're jealous,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, sometimes it comes
Off
off
as jealousy.
that.
But
yeah.
I feel like that's a cop out for what people say, and that's why I try to explain it. It's like, no, it's not jealousy, because again, and she's not gonna listen anyway. So it's kind of like, no, I let you do what you do
Mhm.
because you're honest to me about what you want. But this is why we're never gonna be in a serious relationship, and that's my personal
As
thing.
long as
Like,
you
yo,
keep it honest, though, that's all that matters.
if I die alone, okay. I'm happier to die alone than having to fucking wonder, oh, is she hooking up with someone because she's out with her girlfriends tonight? And you could say like, oh, that's jealousy and you're insecure. Fine.
But no, I
Fine.
don't feel like that's jealousy. Like, unless you really have that legit reason to feel that way, then it might
Alright.
be.
I'm gonna give
Because,
you
like,
a situation. I
I'll
want you
say
to
for
know.
myself, like, I'm not gonna go tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm not chilling with my pin in the ass.
Mhm.
Now she's with another nigga. No, I know she has legit girlfriends that she hangs out with.
Okay.
And legit shit that she does. So, like, I try to be fair. Like, yeah, younger me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, younger me was like, nigga, I swear to God, if I run past these niggas grabbing a rap or anything, I'm pulling a nigga out the window. And that was on everything. And like, she don't even know that. So if she listens to this shit, like, yeah, I was gonna put a nigga out of the driver's seat of a window. on just the strength that I felt disrespected, and that's off of disrespect, not even off of strength of, oh, this is my pussy. Because
Yeah.
girls get that confused, whereas like a nigga fights over pussy. No, I'm fighting over disrespect.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that was my whole shit. But I could honestly go into this point where, like, I could say truthfully, like, no, like, there's little things that I could say that I get mad at about her, but I was like, no, I'm a piece of shit. Cause, you almost got me. Fucking got him. That is something that I need to clip. So, y'all not gonna see it. If you watch the page, I'm gonna put it on the YouTube. But what you would call it? What I was saying, fucking, I don't know, like, cause I have insecurities. Don't get me wrong, but I don't at the same time. Where it's the aspect of what I went around, like the person. If it wasn't for the way we went about it, when my phone wasn't going off at the times that I would expect it to go off, I already knew, like, oh shit, I'm watching porn tonight. You know, like,
See,
yeah,
I think
like, you know, one of those things where I accept it, but I'm not gonna turn around and that's all I'm run. I'm not gonna say like, oh, because she went home with another nigga. I'm just saying because we weren't talking. But that's our relationship. We have a weird on and off thing with each other.
See,
But
for me,
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
why I say, like, I'm not trying to tell you how to.
Oh no,
approach
I'm
your
not even
shit.
trying to do that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying from the aspect of how I feel because and that's why I wanted your, I like listening to people and their insight on stuff because I feel like a lot of people think that like how I feel comes off like that, like a jealous or insecure or whatever, when it's kind of like I related to this, right? Say I stuck my finger in an outlet and I got shot. Boop.
And you already know what's up. Yeah.
And then I stuck my finger in an outlet again and got shot. Zoop.
And that's
And
understandable, yeah.
maybe the third time. Gazoop. And then I stopped saying, you know what? I'm going to stop sticking my fucking finger in an outlet. Now when people, and this is talking about pain, it's an analogy for pain and shit you go through, especially in relationships or not, just dealing with fucking girls. But it's kind of like, then when you say like, yo, that shit hurts, so I'm not going to do that again, I'm going to do it a different way. I'm not going to stick my finger in the outlet no more, or, hey, I'm going to protect myself from putting my fucking finger in the outlet. Then people go like, why don't you trust an outlet? Like, an outlet gives you energy. An outlet does this for you.
Yeah, I get that.
And then people just, that's how I look at it. And then I look at people that are telling me this like, it looks bad because it looks like you're a pussy, like you're scared of an outlet. And it's like, look, I stuck my finger in outlets mad times and the shit hurts. So then when I'm saying I'm protecting myself somehow by either not doing it or putting something on my finger or putting an actual plug in it instead of my damn finger, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I get it. It's a,
say I'm doing stuff, people
it's
take
a reactionary shit.
Like people, I feel like take it in a different way
Yeah.
where it's kind of like, oh, you're this, you're that, but I'm looking at it like, no, I'm fucking this and that. Like, I'm being this kind of person. Like, I have a logic. I'm not moving by emotion, I'm moving by logic.
That's what shit. But that's one of the things where I always say, like, that's understandable. Like, you should move the way you feel comfortable. As we talked about.
Yeah, like I think that's why we're.
I don't share a lot
different,
of my shit because
we
of certain
deal
things.
with
Yes,
we
yes.
deal with certain
My shit is like, I can't turn around and be like, yo, bro, my girl was fucking and doing this and that, and I did. No, because that's my choice. That's what I choose to do this. You choose to do it. You choose to do it. That's fine. And that's all it is. At the end of the day, just to make it clear for anybody that's listening, listen, girl I fuck with is not that crazy. I'm that crazy. Like, I'm the nigga trying to throw a three-way in there on the low, and I'm hoping she don't ever listen to this, and I can get that, sneak that in. But like little shit like that, like it's stupid shit, but that's me.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, like she wants to be home and be lazy. I want to be, truthfully, I still feel like I'm in my young 20s, and it's because yes, part of me was a sucker throughout my 20s, and I was doing sucker shit.
I think all of us.
Yeah. And now I'm here, and I'm like, you know what? Bitches love me. Apparently, I'm good looking. Apparently, I have a great personality. Let me have my fun. Fuck you. You had your fun. Let me have my fun. Fuck you. Like, I'm not trying to turn around and be on some shit like I'm gonna leave you. Like, no. Like, listen, we have a connection that people don't understand. Like, that's something that is a different thing. Like,
Yeah.
nobody could knock us because of the fact that they don't know us. Like,
You know what's funny? And just for the people that are listening, I just thought about it now. Because we always fuck with you, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, because you keep saying like I'm broken, and I'm just thinking to myself like I think I actually need therapy. Like I need to actually talk to a therapist. Just
nah,
to be
but
like,
in
yo,
therapy, it's
what am I
hard.
missing? Like I feel like I'm missing something where I think I'm at an extreme maybe. But because I talked to a few people, like I'll say with the situation I'm dealing
You
with.
gotta talk about all your pains though. Like, and that's the issue.
That's fine. I'm
'Cause,
an
like-
open book. Like if someone were to ask me anything, I would be like, yeah, I thought about killing myself, and I'll tell a situation
No,
where I almost.
I
did,
mean all your
you know?
emotional pains.
Well, that's an emotional thing. Like.
Well, that's not.
like, yeah, I'm.
That's not the emotional
I
pain.
didn't
I was
wanna live
aiming
anymore.
toward. I was aiming towards a different emotion. But if you want to go full blown
No,
emotion,
but
obviously.
well, yeah, I wouldn't pay for a psychologist if I'm not gonna go all in. Like, why am I gonna tell them lies?
That's the whole shit. Like, I don't do like, and I'll say this for people out there that don't know if they want to do the psychology. Sometimes, yo, you just gotta really talk to that person, and even if you feel uncomfortable saying what you really feel, or whatever. At the end of the day, when look at that person, and if you could tell that person
Yeah.
straight up, like, yo, you could tell me anything, but vice versa, you can't tell them anything. That already gives you the jump start of what's wrong.
Oh no, I agree. But this is where my problem was. This is where I was thinking about like I need psychology because it's like I love hearing different points because
Nah,
I
a lot
feel
of
like
people
I'm unlike different people. Like I feel like most people don't want to learn. Like they just hear people and they just never intake. I feel like I intake a lot where I'm listening. Like I'll bring it back to all these podcasts and all these people listening and talking to you and talking to my family and you know even both of my sisters are totally different thinking like mind frame. So like when I'm an open book and they ask me some questions, I'm gonna be honest and so I like.
It's your comfort level. You comfortable around your sisters, you love them.
But it's not just that. Anybody.
No,
Anybody can
it's
ask me
just,
anything.
but it's a comfort thing. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's your comfort level. You have a certain level in your mind
Yeah.
that you go, let's say, talk about relationships.
Mhm.
You go, I'll give you this much, but after that, I'm done. You don't realize it, but it's there, and that's a hormone, bitch. Fucking, whatchamacallit? We all do it self-consciously, because I do it. I know, I have conversation with people, and we'll talk, and that has been, and then I'll, like, it's like naturally I just crank it back.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's like, why am I giving you this much?
Yeah.
I have no reason to. Like, I legit, and I get it, like, because she's my sister. I have multiple sisters, so it would probably be a thing, like, if I asked Marissa or whatever, it would come up. It came up on Sunday. My cousin goes to me, oh, Andrew, oh, that's another hormone, bitch. Fucking, oh, maybe not. So,
Cool.
basically, she was like, yo, you're the only one that doesn't have babies. on that side of the family. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So the youngest one, like out of the way we are family wise, she turns around and she's like, I don't want to be that. Yeah, she's always the one that fights for me. Like she's the one I call to beat up a girl.
Yeah.
And like no, like, and she was like, bitch, you're not even loyal to your nigga.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would he want to find a girl? Yeah, exactly. And it was like, we obviously were laughing because, you know, it's just family. Yeah. But it was just mad funny because it was just one of those things where I was just like, y'all know that shit though. Like, I was like, I love y'all. And y'all know I love y'all to death. Like, y'all moms that ass, like, holler at me to, you know, talk to your baby, like, type shit. Like, I've been out here. I know if shorty did, they'll jump on the LIRRR out here for me in a heartbeat. Like, yo, hop, shorty, da da da. So I love it. But it was just fucking great to see, like, an aspect, and this is where it goes down to, like, a woman, where it's one of those where it's like, nah, like, I think one of my main pet peeves is a woman that feels like they're unflawed and every nigga is the piece of shit. And it's like, yo, if you could even say that you did one thing wrong, I would accept you.
Yeah.
But you're always on some, like, guys do this, guys do that. And it's just like, you're draining.
Yeah.
You don't
You're draining.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Ugh.
I'm back. Fuck! That fucking piece of shit quit. You knew I was gonna. I forgot to tell you to fucking hit the button for me so you didn't fucking opt out. I was like, I'm peeing way longer than a minute.
Yeah, this is the longest I hung out, like, since 2 months ago or some shit.
I'm feeling better. What can I say?
This motherfucker was depressed for a while.
I don't know why nobody just assessed my depression.
Because you come in here and talk shit. So I had to talk
Like, I'm
shit.
not even being mean to people. I'm just trying to be quiet.
He
and
comes in
get my life
apartment
together in my head.
that we're in right now. The first thing he says, like, why is it so depressing in here? I'm watching TV or on my phone. Why is it so depressing in here? Fucking, I'm so depressed. They like turn this shit up. Like, the first thing he does is go to my liquor and fucking whatever.
I drink it all.
Shit, we're almost done with that bottle.
Nah, that is a fact. I'll buy a bottle tomorrow.
Well, depending on where we go tomorrow.
I have a little bit of Ciroc left too in my car.
Look at you with Ciroc. Trying to buy for
I'm
these
trying to eat.
women. God damn it, man.
Like, yo, no lie. Like, one of the scariest things in the world to me about this shit is like, nobody listens now, and then in the future they listen. And all I keep thinking is, shit, whose ass you trying to like yours?
You might even meet her. I'll talk about this one over yours, I guess. Whoever. I like that. I like that you get a little like, oh, yours? I gotta make it look up. Fuck! Son of a bitch.
Listen,
I was just talking shit.
I'm gonna be as real, as blunt as possible. I'm 34 fucking years old. I done did a lot of shit in my life. I am not trying to retrain a girl to accept who the fuck I am.
You know what's funny? At the same time you're doing that, I'm warning a girl about how the fuck I am. I'm sitting here like, no, you like this me because I allow you to be this you. But if you want this me, we're gonna end in like 2 minutes. We're like, yo, we're in a serious relationship. Who you talking to? And I was like, and I was telling this girl, I was just like,
but that's who I am. Yeah.
I said like I don't have forgiveness in my heart.
Nope.
Or time for playing games. So I was just like, if I think you're cheating or if I think you're lying, I'm not going to have a discussion with you.
No, you good.
Prove it to me. I mean, I'm proving to you why I'm thinking this. You have to prove it to me without a reasonable doubt that you're not doing this. Because I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to be like, alright, it's over. Pick up your shit. Let's go. Like, I'm not talking to you no more. And I'll say it just like that. Like, and I'm saying to to girls like, listen, you like me not caring about what you do because I'm not telling you what not to do. But if you want
No, she lives in a different world.
this me, we are not going to last at all.
That's a fact.
Because I would look at you and be like, you're lying. Goodbye. And I think that's where I was
You
saying,
know the lies already.
not even just the lie, even if it wasn't this particular
Alright.
girl,
Yeah.
my patience is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sitting here debating it.
Alright.
So something logically doesn't make sense to me. I'm not, because I'm so used to, not just with my personal life, but seeing in general, where it's like, I have to prove myself right versus prove you wrong, right? I feel like that's how most things go, where it's like, I have to have evidence that you're doing something fucked up for
Which
you to
is-
be
yeah.
doing something fucked up. But think about it. If I have a thought of someone cheating, right? Oh, this didn't sound right. That means I have to have a fucking camera, a fucking like, oh, I saw you. This is you on camera right here with this guy kissing, fucking, whatever, to prove you wrong. In my mind, I'm done with that. Prove me wrong. You have video of you at home or something at this moment. I'm not gonna ask for that, because then that becomes you're overjealous. I'm not gonna sit here and play the games of, where are you? What are you doing? Da 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 da.
No, you don't.
If
you
I feel like
shouldn't- you don't
something's
have
wrong,
to. Yeah, you
I'll
shouldn't have
say
to do that.
one certain thing like, yo, I feel like you're lying. You lying? No, I don't believe you. Goodbye.
Isn't-
And if that takes me away and this is my damage, like we were talking about where it's fucking
Everybody got their
damage,
damages, this.
hey, I go back to the socket, the fucking outlet shit. I'm not gonna sit here and keep getting hurt.
Listen, you can find your ways,
And
or I
then-
could give you my instancy of certain things, but I'm not gonna do it on here, God forbid.
But I agree with you saying
yeah.
I do not care. Like, you can say, like, I don't care about certain things. Okay. In my perspective now, I am single. I do whatever the fuck I want, when
But
I
you're
want.
supposed to.
I want to do
Yes.
it. And then the girl or girls I'm messing with, they can do whatever they want, when they want, how they want to do it. No questions asked. So if that's how the relationship is going to be, let it be that. But again, when it comes to serious, I have my own standards. I want a certain thing. So, bitch, if you're out with your friends or you're hanging out with your quote unquote guy friend. Fuck all that. Goodbye.
Nah,
Yeah.
I agree with because like got the guy friend aspect. Don't know. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to G check him. Like, I have to put that boy in his like place. Like, I'm gonna let him know like, understand that I will whip your ass in any aspect of a scenario. I don't care if you hit it, and then I find out, I'm gonna whip your ass. At the end of the day, my hands will fucking break your jaw.
See, and
So don't feel extra, don't feel special, don't feel nice, don't feel. Go have fun. Go do whatever you do. All of that shit. I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna play baseball. I'm gonna get drunk. I might get high. I'm gonna do what I do. Bring her ass home, and let her do what she do. And yes, I understand that there is a possibility of other things happening before she gets to the crib. That is fine. I'll deal with it when it comes up. That's all I can do. All I can do. I'm not there in the parking lot. I'm not there wherever the fuck she hooks up with, whoever the fuck she hooks up with. That is fine. But once that day comes out and I fuck da da da, I'm like, oh, I know every nigga you were with that day. So who I'm hitting first? But that's me and my ego.
Yeah.
That's just my ego where it's like I'm that fucking much of an asshole.
yeah.
Where I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna call out this day. I won't dead ass go to work and I'm pulling up to Deer Park, Middle Island, wherever the fuck I gotta go. And I'm gonna be like, yo, my nigga, I just wanna talk to you real quick. Oh, that's what happened? Bad. Clap. And I'm all the way. Because I guarantee you it's gonna take one.
See,
I just never really like.
see, I don't think my ego's like that. I think it's because I feel like with the whole like, I'll fuck that nigga up, like that.
No,
shit to
but
me.
it's not about the violent shit. It's one of those things where I give myself that much of a, let's say the average percent is a 5%. So you say 5%. You throw 5% of Angel's ego out there. 5% of my ego is all I need. Why? Because I'm never going to feel insecure around anybody or any man that I've ever been around because of who I am. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to like knock you,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it in the aspect of how I grew up. Like I grew up competitive. So my whole life is literally like, no nigga. Even though right now I know I'm out of shape and I can't play basketball, if somebody say, yo, Drew, be the third on a 3-on-3 to play ball, da da da. And even if I hear a snicker of like, oh, this nigga can't play, like he fat, whatever, he out of shape. I guarantee you I would adjust my game the way I play to make myself look somewhat good. So I'm gonna drop ill as dimes for assists.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit a couple of like, you know, we make the joke the Hispanic like how Alberto does the fucking whatchamacallit. He does like the hook shot shit when we play basketball against him. Like we'll D him, but his whole shit was throwing up a hook shot so you couldn't stop it. That's the whole shit. Like I don't ain't at the end of the day, ain't no nigga out here competition. When I wanna wake up, you're waking up something that you ain't winning against. But that's how I feel about myself.
Yeah. See,
You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm different in the sense that if it's the girl aspect, I don't even look negatively on the guy. Even if the guy is trying to be competition, if the girl gives any
Like the intuition.
play towards
Yeah.
it, any thing, I'm done. Like, why am I gonna sit here, get mad at the guy, have all this energy, try to fight the guy,
But that's
and
another
then
scenario.
really
though. Yeah.
it's like, yo, the girl is giving, like this.
In that
two different
scenario,
scenarios.
in that scenario, I agree with you.
I'll say
1,000%.
this, and I'll agree with you in a scenario like this. If I go out with my girl,
I'm never gonna
and
get
this
mad at my
girl-
girl
and
for
a
fucking
guy-
another girl.
and
That's
a
all
guy
I'm saying.
comes up to me talking shit or to her talking shit, and my girl's not giving him any play, and I tell the guy, like, yo, get the fuck out of here, and he wants to fight me, that's a different story.
Alright, if you wanna go to that.
But if
yeah.
a girl is like, hey, and I see her, how she's reacting to the guy, I'll be like, alright, leave with him. And I said this multiple times
And
to
I
multiple
respect
girls.
that. I respect that.
And I said, like, listen, I don't care if you think it's innocent. If in your mind it's okay because maybe you get this all the time or maybe whatever. If I'm out with you
Nah, you don't
and
disrespect me.
we're serious,
Yeah.
and you give any guy some kind of, or if I find anything disrespectful, I'm not going to have an argument with you of why you're just being disrespectful, because you're just going to be an argument of, oh, you're insecure, you're crazy, you're this, you're that, or, oh, I'm sorry. No. Listen, this is what it is. Look, yeah, I'm not going to bring up this situation, but there's a situation, and hey, and I'm not gonna waste my energy towards it. Hey, listen, go ahead,
Yeah.
go with the guy, leave, and I'll go home.
Yeah.
I'll be good. Like,
Oh, shit.
leave with him, I'll be good. Don't call me, don't text me, don't fucking do anything. Done. And I feel like that's where I am. And this is why I won't let any girl get close to me unless I know that she's a boring
No, but that's
bitch.
understandable and that's fine.
I need
But
a
that's
boring
what you
bitch.
want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't knock that. Like, it's the same way with the Beast Titan. That, you know, what he has. And
Yeah.
partially, honestly, like, with everything that came within that storyline,
Mhm.
they fit each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I have to yell it to someone, I would do that. All for the love for him. And all for the love, like, that I literally looked at him like, and I'm not saying that I give blessing, because I don't want to come off like that. But, like, where it was one of those where it was just like, I was like, I don't care. Like, do what you do. You know why? Because I already knew that y'all both were born. Like, you're not me.
Yeah.
And it's where it comes down to where the scenario that you can say what I'll say in the aspect of the scenario that I want to deal with in the forever aspect
Okay.
because of what we've been through and everything, and it's just our relationship is we're built different.
Okay.
So when we go through that shit, it's like, cause even like honestly, like this nigga, like that ass, like when it came to it, and we were talking about it when he came out here when I fired him from the podcast. We talked about it, and I told him straight up because I knew how he felt about it, but I just solidly,
Yeah.
bring it in. I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid Rain Man about this shit, but like there's certain things that it makes sense to me in my brain, and it's like, no, I get it, and I was like, I know why you hate her, and I understand, and I would never tell you not to hate her because of the fact that when I would be with her, she literally would tell me like, yo, she using my picture to lure niggas in.
Okay.
And I was just like, what? And then she would show me Facebook messages and messages from just in general. And it was just like, oh, this is my homegirl, and I'm gonna be with her, so why don't you come and chill, and da da da. So I get why he hated her.
Yeah.
So like when we talked, and I even told her, I was just like, yo, straight up. I told him straight up, because I have no shame in any of it. I had no shame when I told you what I was going to do at 4 a.m. to all of this, where it was just like, no. If you want to ask me what pisses me off, and I literally had to tell her today, I was like, you know what pisses me off? You don't need any of the fucking extra shit. You choose to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. And he, like, if he would say right now, he would, that has been like, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you're doing it just to do it. And it's like I'm saying it because I love you, and I just want you to understand. Like, yo, you literally have the same fucking education as a girl that I love and respect, Yaira.
Mm.
You literally could do the same shit Yaira does. You just don't want to. Everything she does. You
Yeah.
just don't want to do it the way she does.
Yeah.
That's where the issue comes into. So that's why I fell in, because it's like I had this thing. I was like, yo, I'm done with bullshit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to do the kid yelling shit. I'm done with it. I was like, if you want to do that, expect not to talk to me for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you ain't talked to me for a month. Why? Because I was done with it. You got mad at me one day about some bullshit. You wanted to yell at me. I'm done. I don't do this shit. Like, I'm fucking about to be 35 years old. I'm 5 years away from 40. I'm having arguments like I'm 21. Sorry, but I don't want that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like I'm tired of it, and I'm not even bring up my age, but it's just like it's like a moral thing, I guess. I don't know what's another word to put it, but it's kind of like, yo, I'm sitting here. I want certain things in my life. I don't want to, like, I'll break it down to this, right? I don't want kids or marriage, but
Alright. But that's what I'm saying. Because that's what you've always been.
Yeah.
So,
if I were to have a kid, and especially a daughter, and I used to want a daughter over a son, but now not so much. I don't think I would want any for the same aspect, to be honest.
alright.
But I was just like, look at the what is the word? I'm very dyslexic, people. I'm sorry, and drunk, so it's not fucking working well. Well, when you look upon somebody, like what's the word for it? God damn it! When you look up to somebody,
Like admire?
I guess.
In a way, that's one of those.
So it's kind of like, who do my daughters have to admire? So then you got to look at, like, okay, my wife. If my wife is twerking on TikTok and Instagram, showing her fucking butt cheeks, doing all this shit, do I want my daughter to be doing that?
No, but that's.
You
as
see
fucked
it
up as it is,
enough,
there's fathers out there that are okay with it.
No, they are. And they call them simps and all this bullshit, those new terms that they come out with. But my concept is this, and I really do think, like, I bring myself back to I'm traditional and I'm a square. I like traditional
You're
square
a
shit.
sucker.
What? It has nothing to do with being a sucker.
No, it's traditional square sucker.
What's that, though?
To me,
What's,
it's.
see, that's...
But I'm not
I
saying
think that's a
it.
very
I'm not saying it to be
misconception.
disrespectful.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a misconception. Like, what's a sucker about wanting something traditional?
There's nothing.
An
about
honest woman that isn't a whore, that's not being out there showing her shit.
it. No, there's nothing about it. It's like, all right. The most gist of it, to break it down, it's what makes you happy.
Yeah,
That is truly what it is.
But what? See, it's interesting to me that you said like a sucker. So what's the sucker about?
A
being
sucker
square?
is the funny aspect of, like I said before about the joke, it's the person that is compliant and doing. No, but let me
That's not traditional.
but let me explain. Like the person that does for the wife and does, and I'm not. Like I said to you before, I've never said sucker to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I said sucker as you're a man and you're
Yeah.
doing for the woman that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Why you wake up in the morning and, all right, you know, I'm gonna be just a dick about it. You wake up in the morning and you might see some nipples, you might see some titties if you hit it right the night before, depending on what it is, depending on how your girl is and how she sleeps. So you have like the little perks and privileges, but you have a beautiful woman or whatever woman you look as beautiful. That morning you're waking up to. So like, and I say that in that aspect because everybody has their own version of beauty. That is great. That is understandable. That is fine. You're a sucker when you spend money when you don't need to.
Okay, so so how did you get spending money when you don't need to out of being a scammer?
Because you don't need to spend any fucking money. Because you piss me off. So now,
What money did I spend?
I don't know, nigga. I just felt like you spent money.
You're be totally wrong. I don't. That's like the one thing I don't spend.
Like, I don't, everything, when it comes down to everything, and you know what I'm saying, I will say that I was just like, this is why I get mad at y'all. It's like, I don't get mad at y'all over the love. I get mad because I'm like, why are y'all hurting your bank accounts? Like, y'all make more money than me.
Really?
Y'all
Like
really
that?
could have so much more than
Okay,
what I have.
Can I
And
wanna
I'm like,
explain this.
why aren't y'all like, fuck her, nigga, get what you want, and then fuck her.
This is so amazing. All right, I know.
And I'm just saying because you
You're
get
talking
where
about-
I'm coming money wise. Yes.
But I'm
yes.
explaining, and I don't care. This is real shit.
Yeah.
People are not gonna listen to it. Who the fucking care? It's amazing to me that you think that way. You really think I spent money on her?
I feel like sometimes not all right.
No,
because
be honest.
that comes off wrong. Because it wasn't. Because I argued with Liz about this today. I don't feel like you spent money on her, but I was mad because I was like, why is he taking her to fucking Florida?
No.
And that's why I was
No,
because
no.
I was so mad because I was
No.
like, I know he knows better
No.
than this. I was like, why is he spending money
See,
on her to go to
this is the
Florida?
beauty of it. I didn't take her to Florida.
All right.
She was already down there.
Okay. And that's why I never brought it up. But you see why I never brought it up.
But I'm gonna explain
All
it.
right,
I'm gonna
all
explain
right,
it.
all right.
She was already down there.
Okay.
She was with her grandparents.
Okay.
I chose to go for a weekend.
Okay.
I got a hotel room, a rental car, my own plane tickets. She went halves on me with the hotel. She went halves on me with the rental car that she did not drive at all.
But I used.
But we used, but she went halves on me. She paid for her own plane ticket back. We split the fucking bill. Even.
No, and I.
The activities we did, wait. I'm just explaining.
No, I get it. I'm not saying that.
Because I could see that, because
I
I'm
wasn't
pretty
sure.
sure my
I felt bad. Like I was bad.
thought
I was
my
like,
sister felt the same
yeah,
way.
yeah.
But see, this is the difference, and I explained this to her, and I'll be like, "Yo, this is one of the reasons why I like you." Not saying this is the only reason, but
No, but
people.
I
wait,
but I
wait.
get that. I get what
No,
I get what you're
wait,
saying. I
not-
get what you're
you're
saying.
not
I get
letting
what
me
you're
finish.
saying.
No,
No, all right.
So when we were down there, we did activities. We weren't just like being
But y'all understand.
bullshit.
No, I understand.
So what she did, like I would pay for an activity we did,
Yeah.
and she would pay for an activity we did. And this makes me laugh for two reasons. Because I know people would think that automatically. That's why I kept it on the hush. Because everyone would
But that was
originally assume
I'll
that.
admit,
Oh,
but then that
you're-
reason
you're
of you
paying
keep it,
for her vacation.
once you keep it in the
Bullshit,
hush, you
nigga.
gotta understand that that's how people are gonna think.
Yeah, but
That's all I'm-
regardless,
yeah.
that's how people. If I would have been like, "Yo, I'm going on vacation with this girl," that means I would have to break it down like I just did to everybody.
No, I'm
Because
not saying
everyone would assume
I'm not saying
automatically
I'm not saying
that.
you are. No, you're right.
What?
You're
Okay,
you're right.
so I kept it on the hush, and I took the hush from you because I was just like, "Yo, he."
No, because it's
He
true.
moves
That
on the low.
you should
I
not
shut the
tell
fuck up.
everybody everything. Yes.
So, that being said, and this is the other funny part, I feel like since she's a good-looking girl, a lot of people, and we were actually recently talking about the beach shit, you know, the bad shit that happened.
Yeah.
And she brought up the fact that she felt that a lot of people looked at me jealous, jealous in the sense that like Nick's with a hot girl. Why is he with a hot girl? So that's where all that shit came from. And that I believe that because that's the first time I ever bring a girl
And the only
to a
reason
spot where I
I'll
was.
believe
She
you
was not.
on
Wait,
that
wait,
is
wait,
because
wait,
you dealt with it. That's
wait.
what I'm saying. Like I believe
Wait.
you because you dealt with it.
Yes.
That's it.
But this is the thing. She did not come out of disrespect besides the thong that I told her to wear. But I told the people that had
Like
a
I
problem
said.
with the thong.
Like I said, You
That was
dealt
my
with it.
problem.
That was your-
that was
that was
my
your choice.
fault. That
Yes.
was my fault because I told her to do that, but that was stupid of me, and I realize that now. But at the same moment, I was just like, to see how many people were unhappy about my happiness was kind of an eye-opening thing. Like, wow, y'all are pieces
But
of shit.
who
to
are
me.
they that were unhappy?
Well, we'll
I'm
say.
gonna just throw it out there because I just want to make sure
We
before,
can know- we
before
can
I say
name-
what I want to say, I want to know.
We can name two specific people that
I
caused
know.
the different.
I'm
the
gonna go
problem.
with the two. Yeah. All right. I'll give you that. I know the two that
S
I can.
and B.
Yes. I know.
Okay.
That. But the third, like that's where it was confusing.
Okay.
And like I'm real quick to say like when it came up one time I was with fucking Unibrow and it came up and he's like telling me he's like, oh, like but they felt this type of way, da da da, like about her being this way. And I told her, I looked at her and I was like, would you let your girl do that?
Mhm. Crickets.
Shut the fuck up then.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to be a dick to him. I'm doing this to let him
No,
understand.
and what I
Yes,
said,
like
because my sister came up to me and talked to me about it, and she was like, I didn't like that because I have a husband and in front of family and kids. And I was like, no, that was my fault. I told her to do that. She said that she wanted to come in a two-piece or whatever, like an actual bathing suit. That was my fault. I get that's a learning period.
But that's
But
you having your fun, and that's why I'm not mad at you.
Yes,
I want
but
you to have fun.
this
Because you
is-
deserve it probably more than all of us.
But I look at it like this, like bring it back to the vacation aspect.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot of people, and this is why I didn't say nothing. I feel like a lot of people look at her because she's a good-looking girl, and then look at me and be like, this nigga has a hunchback, he's bald, he's this and that, he's depressed, and then they were like, why is she with him? I think subconsciously they think that, so they think automatically.
I don't know
oh,
about anybody else.
they
but
went on
yeah.
vacation together, so he has to be paying for it because she is one. And I'll tell you, out of all the things that she possibly could be, and I could name
Like
bad
gold digger wise,
things,
nah, I'll give her that much
she
respect.
does not ever, and I say to this day, ever. There's never been a time ever where she said, "Pay for me." Ask me for anything financially, nothing with money. People have a hard time really understanding that she comes over here, we fuck, and she leaves.
No,
People have a
understand.
hard time
Yeah.
understanding that we actually can enjoy each other's company without the bullshit and have a
I know
good
exactly
time
what you mean. Yeah.
without thinking that we're in fucking love.
Mhm.
So I feel like
It's just a good company, chilling,
yes,
having
and
fun. Yeah.
people really don't understand that, and I feel like and she said jealousy, and I don't think jealousy is the right word.
No,
because I don't think
jealousy is
people are
definitely
like-
not because there's no real jealousy. There is overprotection.
There-
And I feel
there's
like
a bit of-
that's a stronger word than jealousy because like I'll go off of nigga, I don't ask you about. I don't give a fuck what the fuck y'all do. When you tell me like, yo, you're busy. If you're busy at work or you're
Well-
busy with her, I don't give a fuck. You're busy until we
Yeah.
chill. I don't give a fuck. My whole shit is like, just keep it semi 100, whatever it is to make sense. Make
Well,
everything make sense. This is where
I'll
I'm
let you go.
going to get into right now, where it's like we're gonna tap into the jealousy and the annoyance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marissa, she has all the right to say what she said. Your mom, let's say if it was your mom, and I'm not saying that your mom said this, but I'm just
My mom
saying
didn't say
if your
nothing.
mom did say it, or like let's say that Christina came
Yeah.
and said it, and how even if your brothers did.
My Christina said something about the thong.
So,
Yeah.
and these are two females, and these are two strong females.
Mm-hmm.
Too strong, I carried, and you know Marissa's story better than I do.
Okay.
So you gotta understand where these are how they're always, and this is because I know for my sister alone, I wouldn't do this and do that for it. Just that was the whole shit. Like honestly, God, I didn't give a fuck. Everything else that happened that day,
Yeah.
I could get two fucks. You know what fucked you over and why I couldn't really fully go hard for you defending you like I was trying to do is because literally I pulled up, I ran into such and such, you walked towards the beach, and it's me and Mines, and we get there, and her first reaction was like, "You didn't tell me that was that Felicia." I was like, "I didn't know that was that Felicia," and then it was just like, she's wearing a thong, and it was just like, if we were going to, let's say, Clearwater, let's say we were going to Miami,
Yeah,
bitch, let them cheeks fly, have fun.
I understand that.
We ain't Robert Moses.
I said that that's my fault.
Yeah.
Because she.
I'm not
asked
trying
me-
to. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
make you feel bad about it.
No, I.
But I'm just trying
feel
to say,
bad,
like-
But yeah,
That was one of the things that it was like, yo, my nigga, like, I love you,
it's my fault.
but it was like,
No, that was 100%.
I didn't want to see her ass cheeks because as you're my brother,
Yeah,
like I say that on some real shit, like you're my fucking brother.
I get it. I get
So
it.
like
now.
I don't want to look at her
Okay.
like that. Like the same way I don't want you to ever look at Liz like. And
Yeah.
wow, I just threw names out. Don't worry about the fucking name.
Oh, I'm gonna kick over the camera. Nah, but
But
no,
you know
I
what
get
I'm
it
saying? You
'cause
get what I'm
you
saying?
said my
Yeah,
name, like
yeah.
this girl's name a couple times, but whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I totally understand that. 100% understand that. And you know what my mindset was then? I was in, who gives a fuck, honeymoon, I'm bringing a hot girl
No.
to the beach.
No,
Wait, let me explain.
Because I want to say something so
Because
bad.
that was my mindset. It was just like, I'm bringing a hot girl to the beach, the honeymoon phase where nothing's going wrong. We're just having fun. We're crazy fucking good. And then the beach stopped. It was like,
No, it
but
did.
if I saw her in a, if I could take it back, two things. One, I wouldn't have let certain people in. Two, if I would have bring her, I'd have been like, no, wear a 2-piece or at least a 1-piece, something.
Nah, because like.
Because I wasn't thinking family and my nieces and
No,
nephews
but
and
that was-
friends.
that's-
I was just thinking like, yo,
Look,
hot girl, just bring her to the beach.
I could be a friend and literally blame part of me on that, where it was like that day, because I had to wait later, because I was waiting for the wife, the pain in the ass,
Yeah.
my
Hold on a
other-
second.
my other half.
Like, subscribe, follow, tell all your friends about it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cut this off now. We're just gonna have a little bit more discussion.
Yeah, because we're going to talk
So-
about real shit, yeah.
Yeah.